distributed super communist pamphlets in Union Square, weeping and undressing while the sirens of Los Alamos wailed them down, and wailed down Wall, and the Staten Island ferry also wailed, who broke down crying in white gymnasiums, naked and trembling before the machinery of other skeletons, who bit detectives in the neck and shrieked with delight in police cars for committing no crime but their own wild cooking pederasty and intoxication, who howled on their knees in the subway and were dragged off waving genitals and manuscripts, who let themselves be fucked in the ass by saintly motorcyclists and screamed with joy, who blew and were blown by those human seraphim, the sailors, caresses of Atlantic and Caribbean love, who bawled in the morning, in the evenings, in rose gardens and the grass of public parks and cemeteries, scattering their semen freely to whomever come who may, who hiccuped endlessly trying to giggle but wound up with a sob behind a partition in a Turkish bath when the blonde and naked angel came to pierce them with a sword.
This is a story about destruction. About a world burned, and burned again. Burned over. This is a story about the death of a world that died so long ago there are none now who remember it. We took refuge here, in Convergence Valley. In this isolated place, we could be saved from the devastation that fell outside, and as the world burned, we hid away here, among the peaks. Beside the slope of Do Not Go There, at the end of the world, in the vast, barren expanse of the flats, yes, at the mouth of the river that is her mouth. It was a strange and hostile place, but in a world gone mad, it was home. And we survived. And maybe, for a time, we thrived. And then the unthinkable happened. Shoots through the ashes. Little by little, the world once burned over, while it began to heal. Green shoots returned to the flats. The winds that cut us off from the outside world were becalmed, caught in the doldrums of something else, something waiting. And Convergence Valley was no longer a place of refuge, but a prison. Or was it something else? This is a story about what happens when a nation falls. This is a story about what happens when everything we took for granted is upended and destroyed. This is a story about a shelter torn asunder by the forces of human lives and human will. This is a story about that most destructive thing of all. This is a story about hope. Welcome to Convergence Valley, or what's left of it.
Welcome to another episode of Desperate Attune. Today we are playing Apocalypse World Burned Over, and we are, as we have been doing for some time. But if you're new here, if this is the first time you're listening, we are playing Apocalypse World Burned Over, which is a post-apocalypse game set in a world of our own choosing, which has risen and fallen many times. We are in a place called Convergence Valley that previously held a holding of knights, a sort of fraternity of knights keeping to a warrior code of Bushido, which has now fallen with the death of President Cazador Sicari, and our characters are dealing with the fall of a civilization that took over after the fall of a civilization that took over after the fall of a civilization. This is a story about quite a lot of things, about memories of the past, about what happens when a civilization falls, and it is also a story about a set of characters played by a set of players. I'm Holly, your host, and with me are also Klow. Hello, Klow.
Hello, Holly. It's good to be here with you. The weather is lovely. Everyone's sounding great. Carry on.
Yes.
Wait, no. Oh, wait. Oh, Jesus Christ. My landlord just rang the bell. Please continue without me.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie, if that was a bit, that was an incredible bit.
It was an incredible bit. The bell has been rung. Let us then introduce Aadiyat.
Hello, Holly. The weather here is terrible, but I'm here with you people, so my mood is great.
A lovely thing. Let us also introduce Salty.
Hello, Holly. The weather here is grey. The sun is behind the clouds. And the birds, well, the birds are singing. Over to you.
Love to hear a bird. Yes, over to me indeed. And tree. Tell us about the weather.
So it's bloody hot here. It's also bloody humid here. Did you know that after raining, it went down a massive 7 degrees to 33 degrees Celsius?
I did not know that.
When the oil barons of the world are all dead, I'm going to resurrect them in order to kill them a second time.
Yes. What a great segue into Apocalypse World, eh? When the oil
Indeed.
barons are all dead. Yes.
Mm.
You
very
better believe it.
So, the way this game works is that we begin every session with a move called Living Day to Day. We also have some auxiliary moves, but we begin by looking at how your characters are doing. And a little bit of a recap here is that we have the 4 characters, so taking them in the same order as the players. Tar-Minotaur, played by Klow, was heading out to meet the Vice President, Cotopaxi, who is at the moment the highest sort of authority that exists in the valley. Cotopaxi has been out shopping for clothes, while the Tower of St. Filomena, which was sort of the last vestige of the old regime, fell to Lady Iskandaric, who is another player character. Lady Iskandaric is currently in charge of the Tower of St. Filomena and settling in there. There is a holy relic in the form of a radio broadcast thing, which you have become responsible for looking over. Meanwhile, while this is happening, Perfidelity Evergreen is the gear cutter, is working on some personal scientific projects and has need to go see the last PC, Ahiri, at Sikari's Regret, which is a sort of bar, watering hole, etc. Yeah, in the commerce district. Or not really district. The valley isn't really a city, but in the commercial area of the valley. And I believe that catches us up roughly with our characters. If this is your first time listening, you should be able to follow along. And yeah, we hope you will enjoy our session. But like I said, the first thing we do is we see how our characters are doing in their day-to-day lives, even as they set out on this. Klow, are you back?
Yes, I just got back.
Would you like to begin living day to day?
Yeah, I'm living day to day every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, flat roll. Cool.
Yep, you roll your barter. That's how it works, and then we see if you have any. We see how your character's doing.
10.
Are they doing well today?
My
It's
first
a 10.
10. My first 10. Yep.
Muy bien. Muy 10.
It was an intense moment of emotion, but it's gone.
Yes. So, on a 10, you ask the MC what is free and what is easy.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, what is free and what is easy? I have mentioned in the chat before the 2 resources I'm interested in.
Yes. So, what is free to you, I think, at the moment is it's tricky because you are on the road, right?
Yes.
But you have said what you're interested in. I will abide by that. So what is free for you is justice, and that is in the sense that at the moment no one questions your position as arbiter of justice. It is free to you in the sense that there is no serious opposition to your idea of it.
Mm-hmm.
And what is easy for you to get is information, and this is simply because you have a good vantage point to the valley. You're coming from the flats, which are a bit high up, and you can quite easily survey the area up ahead. And we shall see what else comes of it during the session, but this is where I'm starting you off.
Nice.
And we shall get back to in a second. But I think let's have... Or no, let's switch it up. Last time we had everyone do their beginning of session moves at the beginning of session. I think maybe we'll do a scene for you next. And then we'll swap over to another PC and they will make their start of session rolls. Let's see how that feels, yeah?
Yeah.
It already feels good to me because I'm the
Yes.
first one to do it.
Yes. Very good. So, you are traveling... Tell me about your vehicle again, just as a reminder. What are you traveling on? Is it the four-wheeler
Yes.
that you have procured?
Matthew Mark IV, if I remember correctly.
Yes, Matthew Mark IV. You are on a
Yes.
four-wheeler in a full suit of armor and heavily armed, driving from your home on the flats down through the valley, headed for a place, well, headed for the Grand Caravanserai, which is an airport, or it was once upon a time. Now it is a very large market where a lot of things are being made, and this is where you hope to find Vice President Cotopaxi.
Yes,
to
the
be
man
precise.
himself.
Yeah, there is a shop in the Grand Caravanserai called Sartori Wear and Gear, which mainly makes silk. Yes. Where?
Yeah, I think so.
Where the vice president is currently getting his new duds. The vice president is a very old man. He is served as President Cazador Sicari's right hand, but he is not nearly as efficient or powerful. And in fact, as you are traveling on your four-wheeler, as we see Tar-Minotaur in this heavy armor, this bucket helmet, on this four-wheeler, traveling down the muddy flats on the side of the valley, what are you thinking about Vice President Cotopaxi? What is your opinion on him?
So I think we had Knight President Cazador Sicari and we have Vice President Cotopaxi.
Yes.
I think Vice President Cotopaxi is a civilian and not a knight. Kind of like the vizier to to the Knight President. So I think my impression of him so far had been that my impression in the old days was that he was effective, but kind of like very much lost in the Knight President's orbit in her like radiance. And I think like one of the things that we have in common, he and I, are that we are both devastated by her loss. Like we have lost a person who gave us purpose and meaning. And we have responded to it in two very different ways. He has retreated into nostalgia and has been acquiring fine clothes and lovers. He still lives in the ruins of the presidential palace, pretending that nothing really happened, that things are still as they were. So we're both living in the past in different ways. But I think like I feel a sort of pity for him. Okay, I feel three things that actually intermix at different times. There's disgust and contempt for him being soft. There is pity because I know how he feels. And I think also a sense of strange respect for him not having changed a single thing about how he lives.
Yes. So he continues this lifestyle even though it no longer makes any sense. Yeah?
Yeah.
I see it. So this is what you are reflecting on as you drive on down on your four-wheeler. And well, the flats are a vast expanse where some farming has started up and so on, but it is still very much in the outskirts of the valley. It's like a rugged, area, a bit of a frontier, as it were. People set out to start farms there and such. And as you drive down towards it, I think the terrain gets less flat and more obstructed. And I don't remember exactly what we have established about the terrain sort of inwards to the valley from the flats, but what I'm imagining there to be here is like the terrain gets a little more rugged and there are probably a few more trees because the flats were like up above like tree line and so on. So there's trees and shrubs. The season now is not particularly cold. Perhaps there are some flecks of snow here and there under the trees where it's still in the shadow, but the main climate right now is wet. And there is this forest up ahead. And there's obviously not much in the ways of road. So, and this is an interesting question about Tar, I think. How do you handle this as the terrain gets rougher up ahead? Do you just plow through the woods on your four-wheeler? Do you scout out the situation? Do you, in fact, know of a road through it?
I think we discussed like there being like a lot of like bridges over water or over like just massive like gulfs of land and so on.
Yeah.
And I think like especially with the forests getting in the way, I think I would like to, if possible, try to find like I think I would know the route definitely. So either a bridge or a ferry. Would you think either of those are likely for me to be able to find my way? It might be that it's a bit longer way around to get to such a place, but it's better than driving through a forest.
Okay. Yes, I think it sounds like you're reading a situation as you're surveying the woods. Is that fair?
That's fair.
You're sort of reflecting and remembering more than reading the moment right here. But yeah.
Yeah, makes sense to me. So I do that with sharp, which is at -1.
Yep.
And I miss.
Okay. So as you drive down towards the woods, I think you do know, obviously, that there is a way across the rivers that run through this patch of wooded area.
Mhm.
And in fact, I think it is a ferry. I think you know of a place where there is a ferry across. Do you think you would personally know the ferryman, or is that beneath you? You just know that there is a little village with a ferry here, or a little.
No, I think I would know this person. I don't think we're friends or I'm warm with them, but I think like Tar-Minotaur does know people.
Very good. So you steer your course in that direction, and of course you get a 6, so you do not know what is happening. And so what will happen is you come upon this place, and it is a shack. Let us paint the scene a little bit here. The vibe I'm going for is that on this side of the river, towards the flats where there are fewer people, there is just this ferryman's shack. Like, he lives on this side. And across from it is a small settlement. Yeah, like a couple more houses, something like a farm, something like a couple of lean-tos. This is still very much, after many apocalypses, it has been rebuilt many times. The village on the other side, I think, is probably they fish. They're part of the fishing communities. The shack on this side, though, it is very, very damaged. Something has happened. As you come to the ferryman's site, what you see is that the ferry is all the way across on the other side of the water. And this ferry is, I think, a proper boat. It's not just a little raft. It is a proper, like, metal boat that can be steered back and forth. That can even take vehicles on it if they're not too big. But it is on the other side. There is a rope which usually guides it across. And that is still attached. But the shack on this side, the wall is caved in as by some great force. You see no sign of the ferryman. You don't know whether he is dead or alive, or whether he is in fact in his boat. But the shack is hopelessly damaged. And tell me, how do you know that this is not the work of a raider or of sabotage, but in fact of one of the monsters of the valley? Of semi-legend now, because most of them are dead.
I think I think it's pretty obvious that like one big thump caved it in, right? A human being to do something like that would need ordnance. There's no sign of any sort of like scorch marks. And if they wanted to do it without ordnance, you'd need to stand over there and like bash at it with like sledgehammers for quite a while, and that would leave a different sort of pattern.
Yeah. So there's been a big impact. Do you think that it is like blunt force? Do you think it is mark of teeth? Is like, has the big beast just shouldered the place?
I think looking at it more closely, I think like Tar-Minotaur does notice like some indentations, and I think like it looks a lot more like something rammed it head first.
Yes, so something has slammed into this building, and there's scattered bric-a-brac all over the floor. Some of the possessions of this rather poor ferryman, some gathered things that lie around. I think that a lot of them are old and broken CDs that were kept up on this wall for decoration. They have now been scattered all over the floor. And I think also the ferryman had a small collection of books. You knew a little bit about this person, right? And these have also been scattered and by now ruined by the rain. It does not seem like this happened moments before you got here. It seemed like this happened at least hours, perhaps days ago. There is no corpse in sight. There's no sight of the ferryman whatsoever. And I think the river is wide enough that it might be possible to shout basic things across, but it's not like you can have a conversation with anyone on the other side, where you do see people.
Okay. So, you mentioned the rope, so do I understand correctly that there's a rope on this side that if I could potentially pull on to bring the ferry towards me?
No, it's not. It's not that the ferry is too big to be pulled across by muscle power. It's just there to guide the ferry. Like it's one of those. Like the ferry is attached to the rope, so it doesn't float downstream, even if it's abandoned. But you need you need to power the boat somehow to get it across.
Yeah.
So you have no means of getting it to your side.
There's people on the other side, you said.
Yes, there are a couple of people milling about. They obviously seem to be, they're aware of something having happened on this side. And I think some of them do look across at you. But you don't see this ferryman that you know among them. And let's give this ferryman a name. And I'm going to name this ferryman Pepper Pot Pete.
Lovely, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. You said that I can't really shout across, but can I wave at them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to stand there, wave at them to be like, there's someone on the other side who wants to cross, and see what they do about that.
Yeah. So you wave across them. They look over, and a woman steps up, I think, and just makes frantic warning gestures at you, as if indicating for you to flee. Don't hang around there. Danger. And I think this is what she does at first. And then she probably realizes that you are a knight, and she hesitates a little bit. But then she just waves her arms out again. There is danger. We are definitely not coming across.
Okay. Then I think here's how Tar-Minotaur is going to do. What Tar-Minotaur is going to do. Yeah. And you can tell me what happens with that.
Yeah.
Tar-Minotaur can't physically cross the river without the ferry. Ferry's on the other side. There's no sign of the ferryman. There is danger approaching, and that's not great. I don't think Tar-Minotaur's brave and honorable, but not an idiot. So I think the thing that makes sense to me is that Tar-Minotaur is going to get on the four-wheeler and go the long way around instead, that they didn't want to do in the first place. Yeah, very good. You pull back. So, Iskandaric, this is one of your vehicles. Can you tell me what impulses your vehicles have?
They were. Where is it? They are wild beasts. Their impulse are they defy danger, and defiances hurt someone.
Yeah. So they're wild beasts. Their impulse is to defy danger. So I think, Tar-Minotaur, that in this case you are having to drive this four-wheeler quite carefully around, and there is danger nearby. So there is a move called behind the wheel, which says, when you're behind the wheel and you rein your vehicle in, you're forcing it to deny its impulse and pursue some other impulse or goal instead. I think in this case, it sounds like you are basically trying to sneak away on the four-wheeler rather than attract a lot of attention, drive really fast. Is that fair? And if so, I think you need to make this move. Because I think this is not a sneaky vehicle.
Or am I leaning into its impulse, do you think?
That
because
depends.
It's to defy danger, and I'm there's danger here. I don't know.
Yeah, it's up to you. You can describe how you are driving. It sounds to me like you just wanted to get out of this situation clean without facing any sort of danger, which is why I'm saying you're not really defying.
It wants to kind of wants to face up to danger and be like, put him up.
Yeah, exactly. I think these vehicles, they're war vehicles. They're not. So I think you're resisting its impulse.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, cool. Roll plus hard. That's nice.
Yes.
That's good for me. My hard is, I think, 2. Yes. Watch me miss. See? What did I do?
You miss?
Yeah.
You miss.
Yeah.
Okay. It defies you. It pursues its defiance with full will and intent. So what it does is, as you climb back on this thing, and you just aim to go away, you rev up the gas to get it to go, and it roars out loud, and you begin to drive, and it just makes this it's just a four-wheeler, so it's not super, it doesn't have a big scary engine, but it still roars and revs pretty loudly and intimidatingly. And this is answered by a cry or a howl from the woods, and you hear trees crack up ahead, and you realize as you turn back that there isn't much of a road here, but whatever there is in terms of a road, whatever there is in terms of drivable ground, you have the river behind you, and you have the monster before you, and your roaring engine has drawn its attention.
All right.
As you rev up this thing, and the cry you hear from the beast is loud, and it sounds almost in pain.
Good. Get used to that. Well, I've been cornered. The beast is about to emerge. I don't see it, right? I can just hear it.
Yep.
and it's in the woods ahead of me.
Yes.
And my vehicle, yeah, so it made the noise. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off the vehicle, and I'm going to keep the engine on, and I'm going to go in the house.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense. It's drawn by the vehicle. And I think we see the beast lumber out. And I would like to ask everyone at this point. We have established that the valley has monsters. But when we talked about establishing the world, I don't think we said anything about what sort of monsters they are, did we? We haven't established like anything in terms of appearance. So unless we have, remind me if I'm wrong, but I think we should do it now. So starting then with Salty. Tell me roughly what sort of monster is this? Like, are we talking a dragon, a troll, a big dog? Like, what is the general
Big
shape?
dog. Those are the three genders, by the way.
Yeah,
Dragon, troll, and big dog.
Yes.
Big dog. Doggy. No, I think... Now, I was thinking chimera, but you say troll, and where do trolls live except under bridges and crossing points? So I think it's some horrible hybrid of a chimera and a troll. It is... Yeah, so it lumbers on 2 legs, but it has 6 more coming out of its torso and thorax. Maybe it's a little bit insectoid, but it's not natural. It's different animals that we would recognize as people who live on Earth that have been melded together into this humanoid, well, not humanoid, but bipedal.
Yeah, 2-legged
thing.
horror,
Yes.
a little bit insectoid, extra legs. Yeah, lumbers out of the woods in this direction. And then, Aadiyat, tell me, what is its most fearsome attack? What about this? How does it kill?
But if it's part troll, then it must have a club.
Okay. Yeah, so it is dragging along a club. Very good.
But not like like it's an apocalypse club, right? So maybe like a lamppost is what it's like, or like a telephone pole is what it's dragging behind it.
Yeah, I like the idea of a telephone pole with still like the wires attached to it, dragging behind it like a big whisk, almost.
Yeah.
I
thought it was a headbutt, but in fact it was a telephone pole.
Yeah, drags that behind it, absolutely. And finally, Tree. I will ask you this: the creature is wounded. It is in fact almost mortally wounded. What signs are there of this?
I think that I guess trigger warning for gore, but I think it's missing the lower half of its jaw.
Yeah. Very good. So pieces of it has been blown off. And finally, Tar-Minotaur, as it lumbers into view, and this is the most abstract question. I'm saving it for you because you are there in this situation. As you see this wounded, dying, raging beast come out, driven by some sort of mixture of anger and pain and sorrow, what about it makes you realize that this creature is old?
I think it's got a grayish, almost like translucency to it, like it's to its carapace. And it's like doddering, and I think like the way it's like looking around, it's pretty clear that it can't see very well. I think the biggest giveaway, it's using the lamppost as a crutch, as a walking stick.
Yeah. So there is this old lumbering beast, a relic of the past. And here is where we cut away, I think, as it steps out and prepares to smash your 4-wheeler with its big club, as if taking it as a challenge. But we will leave Tar-Minotaur there on this little cliffhanger and turn our attention instead to Perfidelity, I think. So, Perfidelity, please make your beginning of session moves.
Yes. So first of all, I have ear to the ground, which means I will see what my ports of call are up to. So before I roll, I choose the port of call that I'm jamming in on this session. So I'm going to choose Sakari's Regrets, which is, where I know there's lost treasure here, but only if you know how to look for it. And I roll plus cool. So let's see that. That's a 12. Very nice. So on a 12, word reaches me that either there's great opportunity for me there, or I can choose one on the 7 to 9, which is they're facing a serious problem, or someone there needs to talk to me.
Which do you choose?
I think let's go for a great opportunity. Let's see a great opportunity that's happening in Sakari's Regret. I always get this when it's Sakari's Regret. There's loads of opportunity.
Yeah. So there's a great opportunity in Sakari's Regret. Then tell me, when we set this situation up, you have in your possession a fur coat with a treasure map sewn into it. Do you think that you have liberated that treasure map, or do you, or is it still unknown to you where it is?
I think I know how it is. I know where the treasure map is, and I've liberated it because Bingo Hammurabi has told me specifically. Because I don't know that off my own back. I think I've been told it by the psychic maelstrom.
Yep. Very good. So I straightforwardly think there that there's treasure here if you know where to look in Sakari's Regret. Is tied to. I mean, Bingo Hammurabi was interested in the place. He spent a lot of time there. He gambled, but maybe all of that was a cover just to scout out the area. And we are going to learn more about the history of Sakari's Regret very shortly. But straightforwardly then, what you have as clues from Bingo Hammurabi's treasure map, what you have pieced together is there is in fact something of great value here. And you have the map, the old, in fact, I think they're old architectural plans. And I mean very old. This is not the original. They haven't copied by hand, but it is the copy of like municipal blueprints from the time when there was a civilization.
Yeah.
And you know of rooms now underneath Sakari's Regret that Ahiri or anyone else working there is not aware of. That is your great opportunity.
Fantastic. And I also roll my living day-to-day move, which I also roll with a +1 from my barter. And that is also a 10.
So, I tell you what is free and what is easy.
And I would like one of those things to be bloodkin, please.
Yes. So, what will be easily available to you is Damnau Egrevor, the former squire of Tar-Minotaur, the person who formerly held your job, who, I don't know if you are bloodkin precisely, but maybe you're bloodkin in the sense that the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Is that a satisfying answer?
By the way, yeah, sorry, just because I've liked this. Apparently, that's a pseudo thing. Apparently, that's not in the Bible, which I hate because I like how it sounds. But yeah,
it sounds very cool. It is made up. I know.
Yeah,
but
I mean, all things are made up. But yeah,
I think I think Damnau Egrevor is the bloodkin that you have easy access to in this case. Is that a fair answer?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. And I will also tell you what is free. And what is free right now is movement. There is nothing that hampers your moving around, because you are well known at Sakari's Regret, and maybe at other times, if Ahiri were here, or if people were paying more attention to you, they might keep you from moving around. But this is not the case. You are able to get there. You are able to move around in the area. You will not be restrained. And so, I don't think that it is terribly difficult for you to get from your workshop to Sakari's Regret, but there is still not trivial to travel through the valley. So rather than focus on your journey, as you are not undertaking a long journey like Tar-Minotaur, I will simply ask you this. What is the most difficult part about going between your workshop and Sakari's Regret? What is the most difficult, dangerous, or inconvenient thing you must deal with?
Ooh, I think because we have the rail mall that is a big diesel train that goes through the Cloud Bazaars.
Yes.
I think it is dealing with kid gloves on the rail mall.
All right, you must take you. So you've taken the train and you have dealt with kid
I
gloves.
took the train.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
I took public transport to get here. I believe in environmentally clean ways to travel.
Okay, then I think I will set this up thus, which is that the rail mall is stopping by somewhere near Sicaria's Regret. On the old railroad, it chugs in this like mobile train full of goods and supplies, one of the best places to shop. It will chug in somewhere near Sicaria's Regret. And Ahiri, tell me about the station nearest to your establishment.
Yeah, it is called excuse me. It is called Black Cabbage Station, and it's very convenient because when you get out of the station, in fact, you are straight into the market, right? So it's great for the market because it means that there's a very convenient way of transport, and it's great for the people who are coming to the market, right? But what it does mean is there's always people hanging about the station, just looking to hustle someone, just looking to see if they can make some money, maybe shake someone down, question mark, right? Like, that usually doesn't happen, to be fair, but it's not unheard of.
Yeah. So, since transportation and mobility is free for you in this situation, Perfidelity, you have just gotten off the train at this station. You have little problem in dealing with kid gloves, but I think it's interesting if you and Ahiri meet at the station, because Ahiri is out and about looking for a person. So if that is fair, I would like to see your beginning of session moves as well, Ahiri, and we shall see what your interaction exactly looks like. But
yeah. So first I roll my
establishment.
Yeah,
whatever
my
it's called.
establishment. Which I always forget this, but it's plus hard, and I have one hard, so it's +1, 2d6 +1. I rolled a 9.
What happens on a 9?
On a 9, it has all of its surpluses, but choose one want.
So you have a +1 roll, and I forget what the other surplus is. News, right? Yeah, which means in this case, the news you have access to, I think, is simply that Perfidelity is on her way. Or at least that's one of the news. You might have access to other things, but there is a want. What is it?
Yeah, so the two wants I currently have are depleted stores and meddling. It seems like meddling is happening because Perfidelity appears to be turning up in order to meddle.
Yeah, perhaps this is a meddling. Perhaps there's more meddling going on. I will remind you that Haxic is still here. Your Toxic X.
Yes, of course.
Toxic Haxic. So.
Toxic Haxic. That's when I started saying that is when you knew the relationship started to go really badly.
Yeah. Very good. And then let's see day to day. Yeah.
I was gonna say that I leveled up last session, as I think many of us did, and I have taken the operator's whether I move, which says take a second to check your instincts and roll cool, and on a hit you get some questions, which I will put in. But I have been persuaded that right hand is not necessary right now, but whether I is interesting, and I think it plays into Ahiri's general character. So I just wanted to flag that. I forgot to say it earlier. So I have one barter, which means that I make my move with a +1.
Yes.
Right.
And you get a +1 from your establishment. Right.
Yes. So that's +2 total.
Yeah.
I have also rolled a 9.
Okay, you may ask me what is easy and what is hard. You may also suggest something.
Indeed. What I would like for... I want to know. I want clarity, basically, on whether it is easy or hard for me to deal with. For me to try and get somewhere that Screwtape Ronin, who is the engineer who is like moved in, to find somewhere to work. And either is fine, but like that's kind of like what I'm interested in.
Yeah, I think this is in fact hard for you. Finding business opportunities for Screwtape Ronin is hard, and that is what has taken you here, actually, because where better for an engineer to work than a rolling mall, right? But Kid Gloves is notoriously difficult to deal with. Kid Gloves, the overseer of the rail mall, is the logical place to start, but I don't think Kid Gloves is an easy person to deal with.
This makes sense.
Workplaces are hard to come by. What is easy to come by at the moment is, I think is customers for your bar. I think that is in an abundance here because there are travelers coming in on the train who wish to stay somewhere. Like the train is a store, but it is also a means of transportation. And so I think you see a crop. Yeah.
No, go on.
You see a crop of patrons get off the train, and amongst them is Perfidelity Evergreen.
Do you think that the new customers will keep Screwtape Ronin busy for now?
That is certainly possible, but I will point out that they are not free to use. It will not automatically come to your establishment. You must do something to draw attention to it. Yeah. But there is indeed a crop of people getting off who have come from the fisher village where Perfidelity lives, which has a name, which I forget. Or well, you don't live in it, but you live near it. River's End, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
River's End.
There are travelers from River's End coming in. But Perfidelity, you are among the crowd stepping off the train. And I think in this moment, I don't know whether you particularly have something to talk about between yourself, but I think it's interesting to open the scene as you spy each other on this train platform / platform full of scammers.
Yeah, and to be honest, if I see Perfidelity, I will approach, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 100%. Ahiri, I'm wearing the fur coat you're looking for.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
And I think that maybe Agravery is with me, because and Agravery is them on the job, so I think they are my security, but they're also currently like what passes for my lieutenant. So that what we're doing a recce, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Please give me a moment here and describe Damna Agravery, who is your head of security and Perfidelity's, what's the word, like the person whose job Perfidelity took over after. There's a word for this, but.
And there's more.
I think we did describe Agravery a couple of sessions ago because I sent them along with the professor to chase down Iskandaric.
Yeah.
But I think they kind of came out of that fairly unscathed, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I reckon that actually right now it seems like we are kind of fine. We've definitely not. I'm not too worried about like whether or not something is going to go wrong because I have my security with me, which I might like otherwise be more concerned with. And the reason that I have aggressively ignored your question is that I can't remember what we described about Damna Agravery. So
neither can I actually. That's why I asked. I didn't even remember that we had done so. So
yeah. Okay. I wish that I should have written this down. I always think this. And then, also, it's so funny. As a GM, I remember my NPCs way better than I remember my NPCs as a player, even though I have so many fewer of them.
Yeah. So, what the picture we picked out for Damna Agravery is in like a brown jacket with a rifle slung on their back, kind of a serious, no-nonsense expression. So, I think that is indeed the style. Like a much less, I think, elegantly dressed than most people at Sicarius Regret, which is kind of high-end in very pragmatic clothes. And I think Damna Agravery, as they see you, Perfidelity, looks you up and down with a little, almost cynical smile. And you may read them if you are so inclined, or you may ignore them and speak with Ahiri.
You know what? Why not? Let's. This is definitely a charged interaction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you two have interesting relationships, particularly in your opinions on Tar-Minotaur.
Yeah. I think I'm going to read a situation actually.
Okay.
Around
Perfect.
me, as I think Perfidelity moves through the crowd and into the cloud bazaars properly, whereas there's more open space, there's these this kind of elevation to it.
Yeah.
People crowding together, rooftops, importantly, and a lot more other people who might know us. So let's roll. Let's see the situation first.
Makes sense.
So that's another 12. I bribed the robot this session.
Yes.
Great.
So
Amazing.
you may ask
Fantastic.
3 questions.
So yeah, I will ask then. What's my what's my best way around this situation, and what makes me think so? So that's one question.
Your best way around this situation and what makes you think so. So I definitely think that you guys have reason to speak. Ahiri definitely wants to speak with you because you wear the fur coat. So what is interesting and dramatic here is that your best way around the situation is to disappear in the crowd and avoid Ahiri and Damnau altogether. Which I think, and it's the best thing because it's something you can quite easily do in all this confusion of people, right? So they have seen you, but you can do like, I pretend not to have seen them and disappear in the crowd. And not disappear altogether from the situation, but like move around them, get the initiative in the situation, essentially. Meet them on your terms instead of having them bump into you on the platform. I hope that's a fair answer.
Yeah, that sounds great. And because it's right now, I'll ask all of them now.
Yeah.
Then what should I be on the lookout for, and what makes me think so?
What you should be on the lookout for is, and this is not necessarily a danger to you, but we mentioned that customers are easy for Ahiri at the moment. We also mentioned that getting a place of work is hard. And we also mentioned that there's a lot of scam artists around. And there is indeed a person who is approaching Ahiri and Damnau Igrivor in an attempt to play them. You can see a con artist who you're not familiar with, a rather sleazy fellow, working his way through the crowd in that direction. It might be a threat, might be an opportunity, but there's someone else who wishes to approach them.
And then, okay, let's go for who is in control right now? Who's in control here? And how can I tell?
Oh, the person absolutely and undeniably in control here is Kid Gloves, the train driver and master of the bazaar, who has let off a crowd of people, who is letting on a crowd of eager shoppers and travelers, who is busily managing the situation, and who is, after all, the rail mall is a traveling shop and a train, but it is a place of wealth. And I definitely think Kid Gloves and their establishment is richer and more impressive than yours, Ahiri. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah, I mean,
I think this person has far more social clout.
Yeah, and I think it's also the case that I don't like Kid Gloves isn't maybe as politically savvy, but does have the advantage of not needing that because of the train.
Yeah,
and the fact that like it listens like so unflinchingly to Kid Gloves, right? Like Kid Gloves doesn't have the problem that Lady Iskandaric has of like, oh, sometimes I'm gonna roll leadership and get a 6-, right?
Yeah, no.
The train's not gonna do that. So
yeah, Kid Gloves is proprietor of basically the only remaining train in the valley. So
yeah,
Kid Gloves has just power based on that, even though they're not very socially adept. Yeah, so I think Kid Gloves has control in the situation, and Perfidelity, like I said, transportation has been easy for you, so Kid Gloves may normally be a problem for you, but right now, they're in power, they're in control, and you have a decent relationship with them today.
Yeah, so I think what I would like to do here then is Perfidelity keeps moving away from the platform. Hopefully, Ahiri and Damnu Agrevery will follow deeper into the market. So Perfidelity can maybe not corner them, but get them into an alleyway where it's single file, sort of in between the leaning buildings. Maybe it's down the side of a building near Sakari's Regrets. And hopefully move this scam artist away from the platform. Because, of course, Ahiri's going to make a big deal about being scammed right as the rail mall is open to customers.
It would be useful if that happened, and then I could blame the rail mall for that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
But unfortunately, you're not in control right now.
So Perfidelity, you are trying to get Ahiri and Damnu alone without any distractions in an alleyway.
Yes.
Okay. Just because you see these things coming does not mean it automatically happens, but I think, Ahiri, if you don't want this to happen, it is on you to make a move, because you must necessarily follow Perfidelity.
Yeah,
so
this makes sense. I think I don't necessarily think the role is now, but presumably I'm going after Kid Gloves, and so therefore I would have rolled Everybody Eats, because I want to know something about someone important, which is Kid Gloves, right?
Sure.
But right now, because we're moving away from the train, I'm assuming that maybe the train sticks around for like a few days and then makes a move, right?
Oh yeah, the train will remain in station. Kid Gloves will be here. So the situation is, you know exactly where Kid Gloves is, but if you don't follow Perfidelity now, you will lose her. So
yeah. So I think what we see is I'm walking towards the station, and maybe Agrevery notices Perfidelity first, and then draws my eye in that direction, right? And I say, "Oh fuck, okay, fine, yeah, we should." And then I will. I think I will just. You'll see a shot of like me looking at the train with like an expression of like, I really don't want to have to deal with Kid Gloves, but so maybe that's actually why I'm leaving, right? Like, putting this off for a bit. Great. Secretly, that's what I want, right?
Yeah. And so, are you saying that you are indeed lured into this trap of speaking with Perfidelity in an alley? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, at best, like, I'm trusting Agrevery to notice this stuff, right? So I'm not. If Agrevery is not noticing it, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, Agrevery is maybe noticing it, but maybe doesn't mind meeting Perfidelity in private.
Also, exactly. Yeah.
Agrevery has not been read, so. Yeah. So this happens then, Perfidelity. You find yourself shelves in an alleyway somewhere near Sakari's Regret. There is a long roof overhanging it that sort of protects this particular alleyway from the rain, so that is almost a tunnel or a corridor. This roof overhead is made, I think, of old airplane fuselage, which so it's like slightly curved. It has this interior busted up airplane energy to it, and it is in this unusually dry little alleyway where you come face to face, or otherwise have the opportunity to initiate conversation.
Yes, and I think we're halfway down the alleyway, and there's a bit of a hole in the fuselage above, perhaps where this plane came down from its great height, and there's a small puddle, and we see raindrops drop slowly into it below. Perfidelity's foot splashes through and then rotates turns. Ahiri. Pleasure to meet you. I thought I would take the scenic route to Sakari's Regret.
And I will first look at Agrevery and be like, "What, couldn't warn me?" And I'll say, "Perfidelity. Hello, greetings. I wasn't expecting to see you today. But I suppose, well met."
Well met. And you are following me because is there a security concern?
Something of this kind. There's a new gearcutter moved into the Regret. Seems like he might be competition for. He seems like you might not be competition for him. Because he makes weapons. And from what I can tell, good ones.
Damnau is observing this conversation with an interested expression and is, I think, chewing gum. And just pointing this out, what is happening with Damnau in the background. They're saying nothing.
Yep.
But, yeah.
Well, thank you for the heads up. I appreciate it. It's good to have good relationships with you.
It's not just a heads up.
Oh, okay.
I can play the game as well as anyone, but I think our last conversation made clear that you're not interested in social niceties, which I can respect. So I'm going to have to be a bit blunt, which I dislike. Unless something occurs, I'm afraid that my business is going to be his and my customer's business is going to be his. Which means that whatever plans you have for the regret, and I know you have them, might not be accessible to you for very long. By which I mean they're not accessible to you now unless you do something about it.
Okay. I see how it is. Quid pro quo, as it were. So what do you want?
Indeed.
What do you want? And why should I help you after I so nicely asked you for your help and you gave absolutely shit all?
First of all, and then I'm just going to look at Gregory and be like, you're really going to call them shit all? Man, that's cold. Because I sent them to you.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have done that. What do you think, Daniel? You think I should not have sent you?
Okay, that's what you ask. And I think then Damnau is your employee, but Damnau is not like unflinchingly loyal to you.
No.
So I think Damnau says, and I don't know whether this is true, but Damnau, I think, locks eyes with Perfidelity and says, "Oh, I just thought we'd all be better off if Buckethead died. That's all." And pulls out
takes
the
that
string
back.
Pulls out a string of gum. And they look at you and just goes like, "Well, it's not an insult, it's just an explanation of why I acted the way I did."
Buckethead is a god of the guitar. You take that back.
I don't like you calling her that.
I know.
And you should do it anyway.
Indeed. See? I was just about to say that, wasn't I? Damn no. They did it anyway. Yeah.
Anyway.
See, here's the thing. I sent you the help. And I sent you the help that I thought you would appreciate. I could have sent someone else. No, I sent you your friend and a fellow knight because I figured they would have the same code as you. And what you did was that you called my help useless, which is maybe
actually I called it shit for all.
Yes.
If you're going to say things, you need to make sure they are true. I called
that's
them
actually not true.
Shit for all.
It's not. I don't need to say things that are true. But that's fine. My point rather is that you keep insisting that I didn't help you, and it's very hurtful because I did. You didn't like the help. That's a different problem. Regardless, I'm happy to help you again now. Right? I understand that our relationship might be a bit rocky, but I'm not willing to throw away everything. All of the years of you turning up at the regret and then helping my customers. And so I see that you have liberated this fur coat from one of Iskandaric's. I presume you know why it's important?
I look pretty fetching in it. Do you not agree? And I am very cold. It is rainy. It is cold up here. I am very sick. And
yes.
She leans a little bit on the crutch.
Yeah. Well, we actually have a sauna now at the regret. So if you want to warm yourself up, let me tell you, nothing like a sauna. It's incredible and really helps you get feel clean inside and out. So you could you could try that. But I rather meant, and I'm not going to insult your intelligence here by like saying, oh well, I just want to know whether you know everything or only something, or you want to continue pretending you know nothing, because that's not a nice coat. It's like fine, but it's not your style, is it?
I think it is. I could have a new style.
I mean, that's what people say when they're trying something and it doesn't quite work. Like, okay.
And Perfidelity is like blushing furiously, flushed, a little bit angry.
Yeah. And I'll just say, look, fine. I just wanted to tell you, I would appreciate your help with the new gear cutter. And I am a little bit hurt that you called the help that I went out of my way to give you a shit for all. And I think
out of your way. Okay. If you want my advice, you can take it. I think you're working on kid gloves, yes? That's who you want to take.
It's an option.
Well, and Holly, you can tell me if this is right. But Perfidelity kind of puts one hand in the pocket, the one that's not holding the cane. Goes, well, if you're saying sauna and you are saying hot water, maybe that should be the crux of the matter when you talk to Kid Gloves about it. They've started beginning smelling. The rail mall has this horrible stench to it. Maybe that might be a good way forward. Use your new services to your advantage. And that is my advice for often you're right.
I think that is very good advice. I'm not going to contradict it. I will say that Kid Gloves very rarely leave rail mall. Whenever they do, it is a big deal. So them leaving to like visit Sicaria's Regret would be, I think, a good way to negotiate with them. Like tricky to do, but very good if you do it, right? Because it's a thing when it happens. So I think it's good advice in that sense. It would be very helpful if you could.
In that case, I would like to roll everybody now to see whether I have heard something similar.
Okay, sure. Let's see this move.
Yeah, so that's plus cool, which is again +2. 14.
Okay. Yes. What do you ask your questions?
So first, how could I get them physically or emotionally?
Okay, physically it's very easy to get to Kid Gloves at the moment because they're in the train. So that's But I think emotionally, Kid Gloves is not a very emotional person. Like Kid Gloves is like believes it is a sacred duty to run the train. Who introduced this character? It was Zoheb, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I would like you to answer this question because you established Kid Gloves as this very like mercantile, no nonsense. I care about money and I care about the train. But they must have some sort of emotional weakness or vice. I will give you the opportunity to define it if you'd like.
I think the train. She loves that train. Like genuinely loves that train. Like it's not just something she's using. I think she has like a serious emotional attachment to the train and making sure it's running properly. I think she sees it as her friend.
Yeah. Lovely. So yeah, I think this is the way you can get to Kid Gloves emotionally. Care for the train. I also think in order to make this sauna idea work, I think Kid Gloves is very concerned about like presenting a proper image of themselves as a representative of the train. So it's like the train must look spick and span, but if you are smelly and dirty, that reflects poorly on the train.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know what? How are they doing? What's up with them?
Okay. So I think you have heard some interesting news about Kid Gloves in this regard. I think you have heard that Kid Gloves is not doing as well as they have been. Like the Valley, ever since the Knight President passed away and the Valley started falling apart, the rail mall has kept running. It has been the consistent one service that has been going around. And I think the train itself is fine. The train is like almost indestructible. But now that there is more trade with the outside world, for the first time Kid Gloves has competition. And so economically, it's not, on the brink of ruin. Nothing like that. Kid Gloves is still one of the richest merchants around. But, the graph has begun pointing down. It has stopped pointing up.
Yeah. It's trending badly. Yeah. And my last question is, who do they know, like, and or trust?
Very few people.
I mean, no one I know is a totally reasonable answer to this question.
Yeah. I think that is the answer. I think it's no one you know that they trust or like, except because it was established a little bit Perfidelity in this moment, because Perfidelity was able to negotiate a cheap train ticket. So that's probably the best.
Can I suggest a name? Yeah. Can I suggest a name that we've had come up, but Ahiri wouldn't know, but might have heard of? Ginkgo Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar, yeah.
Ginkgo Nebuchadnezzar, yeah, sure. That's someone they like or trust. Yes, that is not a person who any of you have met, but
yes,
sure. I mean, we established that this person is a mechanic in some far-flung locale where perhaps the rail mall goes.
Yeah.
So maybe this is what you've heard, that like somewhere there is a station where maintenance is done. It's run by Ginkgo Nebuchadnezzar.
Remind the audience who this person is. I think that's a good idea.
So Ginkgo Nebuchadnezzar was a person Perfidelity saw in a vision when analyzing the four-wheelers that Lady Iskandaric has. And it was the person who most recently modified them. It's not the person who originally made them, because they have been around for a really long time, but the person who like brought them back in shape. So it is a skilled mechanic of vehicles.
Okay, in that case, I think that when you give me this advice, I'll think about it and I'll say, she does care about her presentation, doesn't she? She's a bit worried. Might start looking a little ratty. See, here's the thing. I've always thought that a half-decent gear cutter could make quite a lot of jingle just having a good relationship with Kid Gloves. But so far, that gear cutter has not appeared. And if I fix up Screwtape Ronin if I fix up Screwtape Ronin with Kid Gloves, Screwtape Ronin would make a lot of money, probably. But I'm not just trying to get rid of Ronin because, he's a problem. No, he's an opportunity. And if you want to be an opportunity instead, I'm not against that.
I have no interest in jingle.
Yeah, I didn't think you were. Machinery that can move hundreds of thousands of kilograms with no problem whatsoever, on the other hand, the chance to work on that kind of thing, that might be up your alley, no?
What are you trying to get at?
Everybody thinks I have an ulterior motive. My motives are very clear.
You often do.
Look, this is a reputation I do not deserve. I'm gonna try to see whether Ronin wants to work with Kid Gloves and whether Kid Gloves wants to work with Ronin. But because I caught you here and you seem to think that I've upset you, and I guess I will try and make up for that. If you wanted to work with Kid Gloves and you wanted me to help you with that, That would be useful. And if you say to me, well, this fur coat that you're wearing doesn't have anything special about it, even though both of us know that there is something special about it, I'll respect that that's what you say, even though we both know you're lying.
Okay. I would like to move towards wrapping up the scene, just flagging that.
Yeah.
So my question is, like, we can go on with the dialogue, but my question is, what I would like to keep in mind is, like, are you guys going to the Railmore, or are you going back to Sicari's Regret after this?
Yeah, so, like, I'm basically offering Perfidelity a reason to go back on the train, and then, like, which I think would be interesting to see. But if not, then we will just go back to the Regret. So I think, like, depending on what Perfidelity does, it's either this or that.
Reason with me.
Sure.
I think you're reasoning with Perfidelity, because there's a lot of reasons I want to go to Sicari's Regret right now.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, but you want to go back on the train first. Yeah, let's see how it goes. Roll with cool.
Oops. Wrong.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't put in the space. 7.
Yes.
So I
So,
will mark XP. Sorry, go on.
yes. So, if they seem reasonable about refusing, ask for the counter proposal, or ask what you would have to do to convince them. So, Perfidelity, what would have to be done to convince you?
I know. Now, I did promise Iskandaric that I would get in with the treasure hunting. Cut her in on that. Ooh. And yeah, my character does feel guilty about letting Matthew Mark IV run her over. So Perfidelity nods. Goes, okay. So I have permission to go down in your cellar and kill your great dire rats. I just need... You see, the dire rats have been very populous. They've been, fucking and sucking and all of that business. I just need Lady Iskandaric permission to be given permission to come down with me.
Oh.
I see. Well, you'll have a chaperone, and I know you know who the chaperone's going to be. It's going to be, Gilgamesh. But yeah, sure, why not? Let's all go down into the basement and have a look at the big rats that you were showing me are down there.
Okay. I think let's wrap the scene there. You agree to this, and then you go back to the train? Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. And speaking of Lady Iskandaric, let's catch up with Iskandaric. So,
hello.
Please make your beginning of session move.
Right, yeah.
Starting your situation, living day to day. Yeah, I know we haven't gotten to you. And then I have a suggestion for framing a scene in which Lady Iskandaric starts out, but you can suggest something else if you would like.
Living day to day, rolling barter. It's a 10.
It's a 10.
Nice.
So, what is free and what is easy? Is there anything that you are interested in?
No, I mentioned earlier what Iskandaric's agenda was. So anything you think is interesting?
Yeah. So what will happen here is that you will have free access to Angelica and her people. Like nothing stands in the way of you having a conversation with them. And in fact, you're going to start in a scene with Angelica. And what will be easy for you is the voice of the tower.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
And so where we start you off is, because we haven't actually seen the whole relic thing that was talked about before, and I think a logical place for you to have a conversation with Angelica is in the radio control tower with the actual, radio console with the actual relic equipment. Is that a cool place to start? Or is there something else you would want to do first?
No, I think that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So we see Lady Iskandaric and Angelica. I think Angelica would come alone. She has no power to stop you from bringing anyone, so you could have a lieutenant or a right tenant with you. But Angelica is here alone. I think she would definitely signal that she prefer you have this conversation alone. And it is in what is... So it looks like a radio DJ's booth, except that it has been visibly moved. At some point in the past, all of this equipment was moved up to a more secure location. So there's a mess of cables and like wiring and stuff where it has been... Everything has been moved and plugged in again under less than optimal circumstances. And I think the place has also been decorated heavily with flowers, with relics of the old world, with so it is this bizarre combination of a radio DJ booth and like a sanctum and a temple. There are images of the tower itself. I think these images of like a radio tower from the old world, and there's very little furniture. And I think there is a picture in here of President Cazador Sakari. Maybe there are a couple of other pictures that have been drawn over time of people of great importance.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Question.
Cool. Yeah.
Is this high enough to have been where the toolbox that fell came from?
Yes.
On Luke.
It absolutely is. A toolbox that fell from here could definitely kill someone. And it is plausible that it fell from here.
Cool. Yeah, okay. I think Iskandaric is here alone as well. She's told her guys to do various tasks. So Artemetric is, scouting out location. Logistic is, I don't know, managing supplies, so on and so forth. And yeah, I think she just walks up and very clearly with the intent to just chat with Angelica.
Yeah. Angelica looks you up and down and says like, well, this is it. This is the voice of the tower. It's here.
Yeah, and I've heard it. I heard it on the way here. I heard it when I was in the tower.
You might get used to it. I hear it too. It speaks through the prosthetics I've made. It speaks through things I have installed in others to heal them. It is what gives my healing arts the power to speak from metal to flesh. I could augment you too.
I know you could, and I believe you that it speaks through metal. I heard it through my, what they call their vehicles, mounts, their beasts, right? Well, yeah. Heard it on my mount on the way here. Though, I find it interesting that you only ever listen to it, but you don't try to speak through it.
It is not my place. The president, the knight president, did on occasion. I don't know whether it is your place, frankly. I know that the tower is afraid. I still don't know why it struck my people with this sickness, this fever, though it has begun to pass.
I think listening to this talk about the sickness and the fever again, Iskandaric will laugh and go,
yeah.
Your sickness is your trust in old relics. You said your knight president had the authority to speak through this. Where is she?
Dead.
Dead.
And you are here. And it seems you are to be the caretaker of this now, which perhaps gives you a right to speak through it.
Yeah. And yet, though your knight president is dead, you still cling on to her. You still keep her picture. There's a vice president, I hear.
Yes.
They're not here either.
No.
No.
The vice president is not here neither in image nor in person. No. Cotopaxi was never as important. Never a knight. you see.
No. Your old order that you hold in such esteem, they let all of this go to shit. And by all of this, I think she means the entire valley, not just the tower.
Yeah.
They didn't bother to protect you, nor did they teach you how to protect yourselves. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, she just says, we had roles then, and that's all she says.
Things have changed. Now, when I came in through your doors, you folded like a pack of wet playing cards. But this is mine now. I'm not gonna have it that way.
And what would you have happen?
I'll be plain. It is in my interest to see that, yes, that you work for me, that you do as I say, but also that you are able to do as I say. And I think it is in your interest to follow suit. You know, my men are here. They know how to use weapons. They know how to build defenses. They know how to control supply lines. It's all they know how to do, but they know how to do it well.
And you would have my people do the same?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she looks at you quite steely-eyed and she goes, then go on. There's an easy way for you to command my people. Use the voice of the tower. Speak, as Saint Fulmina would speak. And I think she is actually daring you to approach this relic, like daring you to try to use the power of the radio.
And I'm game. I'm game. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I double dog dare it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it can definitely broadcast like nearby. You've seen it. It's like all sorts of metal objects resonate with it. So
yeah, I mean, before we started the session, I was joking about like doing a mind scan with the tower to find a lieutenant. But you know, this is a good warm up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So what do? Do you just step up and grab the microphone, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be the Iskandaric's not going to back down from a challenge. Angelica says this. He walks up.
Yeah.
You know, has a look at the DJ booth, and oh god, it's a DJ booth. This is gonna be a bass drop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh god. I was moving my brain right to the second Ultron.
Yeah. Yep. It is, I suppose.
It's a 9.
So you open your brain, and this lets you hear the tower. I think it's a different thing to like speak through it, but this is a valid place to start to like get the information. So you touch it, you get an impression of it, and I think what happens here is that the tower itself asks you a question before you broadcast anything. As you touch the thing, you feel you hear the tower speak to you. I guess one of the little like probably you hear it from the headphones, like teeny headphones lying up to the side that you're not actually wearing, but it's quiet enough in here that you can hear spoken through them. And there is a voice in the remixed, like old radio broadcasts that the tower somehow remembers. It asks, "What is coming?"
Oh.
And it asks you. And I think you get the sense that the tower is worried. It is afraid.
Good moment.
Good moment. Is there any point in teasing this any longer? Probably not, right?
Yeah.
Can just say that. I think Lady Iskandaric is forthcoming here probably because it's not a person, like to another person.
Yeah.
So how do I communicate? Like to the mind, or do I just speak it to the?
I think you speak it to the microphone in the but I mean, you can lean quietly.
Iskandaric, I think she thinks about it and kind of relents that. And she says, Hell's Mouth is an appropriate name for the mountains there in two ways. Because, sure, there's the pits itself, but Hell's Mouth, the pass beyond it, it truly is hell.
Mm.
There are devils there, far worse than me.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you give the information to the tower, and like it falls quiet. It hears your response. And yeah, do you say anything else?
I have to think of a name for the devil, but we can come on to that later.
Yeah.
I think this gives enough information, right? She's saying that there's another, like, there are worse war bands who are on the way.
Yeah. And I think you say this, and you feel the tower shudder, and I think Angelica looks at you in shock, and the DJ booth like lights up and blinks a little bit, and then the sign of like live flickers and comes on, and you feel a rush of electricity through the room that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up, and you realize that the tower has opened up to you. You have the power of the broadcast, not maybe throughout the entire valley, but certainly you can speak right now to everyone in this location, and they will hear you, and they will hear you in the metal of the tower itself. They will hear you in the metal of their prosthetics, their implants. They will hear you in their very bodies.
Well, I'm not very good at doing big speeches, but let's say Lady Iskandaric isn't either. So I think she just says something along the lines of, hear me, like, death is coming, and the only way for you to survive is to fall in line. Right?
Nice.
Yeah. So, in this situation, do you issue any specific orders? Do you tell them to do anything, or do you just tell them, like, do you just say, I'm in charge, essentially, or do you tell them to like start digging trenches or learning how to fight or something like this?
No, because I think that would be like more of a like delegation, like delegate to
Fair.
guys, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she would also add, like, because they respect the tower so much, like saying that, your tower has all seen what I have seen.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I don't think that there is necessarily a move here. I don't think it's a leader trying to command them to do specific. I think that you're just making this broadcast and making them fall in line. And I think for now, it makes sense to say that they do, though they are all terribly afraid.
Mm-hmm. That's the idea.
Yeah. And Angelica looks at you with, I think, surprise and awe that the tower just let you do this. And I think there was a sense of like, she dared you to approach the console and speak with it, right? And she half expected you to like be struck down by the hand of God, and instead this happened.
Yeah.
And she looks at you curiously, and I will invite you to read her if you would like, to see how she feels or
like to
what
read
she's
her.
about to do. Yeah?
Yes.
Let us do that, and then I think we will pivot back to Tar-Minotaur.
Yeah. Another 9.
Mm-hmm. You get one question.
I get one question. Okay, so I'm reading a person, and the question is, what were you thinking of doing?
Yes, what is Angelica thinking of doing? So at this moment, what she is thinking of doing is, frankly and honestly, anointing you as like a leader. And this you recognize as a double-edged sword, because once she does, she and her people will absolutely like recognize you. But also this anointment she is a doctor and she installs things in people. This anointment is cybernetic in nature. It involves messing with your body.
Okay, yeah. Why not? I mean, when in Rome.
Yeah. So that is what she's considering, and she hasn't definitely decided whether she's going to do it yet, but she is thinking like, okay, maybe you are actually our leader.
Cool. All right.
And Tar-Minotaur, while this has been going on, you are in a shack. You are in a shack, and there is a lumbering creature dragging itself up to smash your four-wheeler.
That's right.
What do you do?
Okay. I could try to read the situation, but I think it's pretty clear. There's a big... So just to reimagine it, could you describe it for me once more?
Yeah.
There's been a lot happening between.
So it's a two-legged chimeric kind of thing. It has vestigial extra legs that it's not standing on, like 6 legs that come out of it. It's like vaguely insectoid in some ways, but it is a chimera. Yeah, it's armed with this telephone pole, which is its primary weapon, and its carapace is like vaguely translucent and old, and it is almost blind.
Does it look like... So it's got... Does it look armored?
It has a carapace. Yeah. But I don't think it's, it is not an impossibly thick or impossibly tough carapace.
Yeah.
It's an exoskeleton.
Yeah, okay. And it's already got its lower jaw missing. It's not doing great. I'm going to wait for it to go up to my four-wheeler, Matthew Mark IV. And then I am going to, from the safety of being inside the shack, I'm going to draw out my blade thrower, and I'm going to blade through its head. Okay,
and you're aiming for a one-hit kill here, is the sense I'm getting. Yeah, yes. So it's not a fight because it hasn't noticed you.
No.
You're hanging back. At the same time, I don't think you have like a perfect shot because you weren't able to like set yourself up super well for this. So I think that you roll attack someone.
Yes.
Simply. It's not attacking back, but it's also not guaranteed that you will hit, which it might have been if you had set yourself up perfectly. But
yeah, I think also to contrast this to second edition, I think like you always have to roll to attack someone.
Yeah. That's
generally. Okay, +2 with hard. Is there anything that's relevant here? Let me have a look. No, let's just go. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a miss.
Oh, you have been rolling poorly today.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Not just today, I think like consistently, right?
Yeah. Well, what happens is I think you angle out the blade thrower, you aim it at its head, you fire off the shot, and it's not like you miss. You're very accurate with this thing. The blade goes in that direction. However, the creature raises the club, and perhaps it is parrying, perhaps it's some sort of instinct, perhaps it's just sheer dumb luck, but the blade catches, like it brings the club in front of its face at the crucial moment, and the blade catches in the club. It like sticks out of it, sticks into it with a thwack. And I think the creature looks at you, and tell me here what you're most interested in happening. I think a bad thing happens because it is a miss.
Yeah.
Is the bad thing that happens that it attacks the four-wheeler or that it attacks you? Because I think if it attacks the four-wheeler, then the four-wheeler is just fucked. But
if it attacks me, am I not fucked? It's a big old creature with a lamppost.
Yeah, it is, but you can dodge out of the way, mostly. The four-wheeler is stationary, so if it brings its club down on the four-wheeler, if it brings the club down on you, maybe you have a chance to scramble out of the way.
Okay, then I think I would like to get attacked.
Yep, totally fair. So, in that case, this chains straight into acting under fire. And the fire is there's a big club coming towards you, aiming to smash the rest of the shack you're in, and also you.
Okay, let's see what
Yes,
happens.
acting under club. I've heard of this.
How do you get out of the way?
Your heels count on your strength. Just stop it. Like how.
Okay. I'm going to let it. I think I'm going to let it bring the shack down on me.
Ah, okay.
You're doing the thing that I said.
Yes. I'm not going to dodge I'm going to dodge the lamppost itself. It's going to be where I was, and then a whole bunch of shack is going to fall on me, obscuring me.
Yep, makes sense. So roll plus cool.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that I'm strong enough to handle that.
Yeah.
I am not.
Oh, it's another 6. Oh, wow, you are rolling poorly. So, it says be prepared for the worst, rather than just deal you harm, because you have been taking a lot of here. I don't think that the worst necessarily here is that you're hit with a big club and smashed, even though you could probably survive it. Rather, what happens is that it goes as you planned. You leap to the side, it brings down the shack on top of you, and the old creature, perhaps because it is old and weak, just like it smashes the shack thinking it has killed you, and then it just drops the club. It like tosses it on top, and you of course are lying down. Like there's no way you could stand up. You're lying down under all this rubble, and the club falls on top of the rubble on top of you. And so like the creature drops the club and it cries out in agony and pain. It was quite wounded, like staggers weakly, and you are trapped under this heavy thing in the shack. And I think also you notice that the villagers on the other side obviously have seen all of this happening. And they are now rallying and doing something. You can't quite hear what, but you hear shouting from the other side. Like a great panic breaking out. And I think, you also hear like gunshots. I think they're taking shots in this direction. They're not very good shots, but they have guns, evidently. So you are underneath a bunch of rubble. The villagers are shooting at the monster. The monster is howling out in pain. And you're in a very bad situation. What do you do?
Okay. I am under a wooden shack. There's a lamppost bearing some weight down. I think I'm going to try to wiggle around a little bit. I think like I can hear the water. Yeah. Okay. So I think like we see Tar-Minotaur kind of like under in the darkness, kind of like enveloped in all of this with the echoes and the noise. I think just for fun, because I have a quiet moment now, and I think this is all interesting. I'm going to open my brain to see what's up.
Okay. Yes. Very good.
Yes. Well, we'll see if it's very good. Oh, it's a 9. That's good at least.
It's a 9. Yes. So you open your brain. What are you primarily interested in? You do get to ask a question, and then I can give you information outside of that.
I am trying to open my brain to Knight President Cazador Sicari when she was my teacher and gave me potentially relevant advice for getting out of when you're trapped underneath like rubble. Like basically, if Tar-Minotaur was a fireman, this would be like fireman drill. What's to do?
You're trying to flashback. So it is a 9, so you get some vague information. And I think what you realize here is you try to think of Knight President Cazador Sicari and these knightly ideals that you were taught, right? You were much younger then. You were taught these heroic stories of like the knights that slay monsters, that defend the valley from the horrible things from without. And what you realize in this moment, to your, I think, terrible dismay, is that this will not be a glorious battle. This will not be a knight triumphing over a monster, because that world, well, maybe it isn't dead, but it's dying, and so is the monster. And so the insight you realize here is that no one needs to slay this beast. It is wounded and old, and it is going to die by itself very shortly.
Oh, no.
The power, the strength it took for it to bear down and crush this shack took out the last of its strength, and it is growing feeble. It is weak. And so you try to reach out to Knight President Cazador Sicari, and you find some useful information, but it is not anything noble or glamorous, but perhaps it is strategic. And it is, you are safe waiting here. The monster will die. No one even needs to slay it.
I'm not in danger of suffocation?
No.
Or anything like that?
I think you have your armor that protects like you from being crushed completely. And, you have enough information. You have enough to recall to like wiggle free. This is things you have learned. So you can like wiggle yourself to a safer position in the rubble. But basically, the information you learn here is that if you simply hide, if you simply stay in this shack and not fight your way free, the creature has no one nearby that it can take out its wrath on before it dies. And it may take some time. It will be a painful process for the beast. It may take, an hour for it to properly die, but it will. You are sure of it.
Then I think, yeah. I mean, it's not all about glory. It's also about being pragmatic, especially since I think Tar-Minotaur Azdahakush has had to open up her mind in terms of alternative possibilities and tactics since the fall of the knights.
Yeah.
I think she is perfectly content to just wait here and hope that, or drop the lamppost, but I don't know. I hope that it doesn't crash Matthew.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think what will happen here is that it topples Matthew over. It grabs the four-wheeler and hurls it aside a bit, but it doesn't have the strength to lift the lamppost again and smash it. So it rolls over, and it perhaps takes a little bit of cosmetic damage, but it's not broken. And you hear gunshots from the other side and so on. And then I think the creature gives out a tragic, horrifying death howl, which is more mournful than anything. And it falls over, slumps down by the side. Perhaps it has been struck by a few random bullets from the villagers across. And very slowly you hear its grunting, dying last breaths. And then it draws its last. And then the villagers on the other side scramble and shout in panic, and you hear, I guess, as the wind is a little bit still, someone go "Ferry! Get the ferry across!"
And I think, Tar-Minotaur slowly extricates herself from out of the rubble. And kind of looks at the creature, the dead creature. I don't think taking trophies. I mean, actually, this is interesting. So, of course, I don't think Tar-Minotaur is interested in taking trophies, even if she had been the one to slay it.
Yeah.
But we are also talking about waste not, want not, kind of reuse, and so on. I'm not interested in playing Monster Hunter. So, is there anything obviously valuable in this creature that I probably should claim for myself, or should I just leave it be? What's interesting?
If you want to do that, I think that there is a role here, because I think it is possible that it takes you long enough to dig yourself out that the villagers get to it first, actually.
Okay.
I think that's an interesting possible consequence of the failure. So if you want to get to it first, I think you must try something challenging, a physical action that might be beyond your strength, skill, or otherwise. And that is simply dig your way out of the collapsed shack faster than they can get a boat across the river.
All right, let's see. That's a 13.
Okay.
Nice.
So, you were able to do it. You can accomplish, and no one could expect to do more. So yeah, this is a heroic feat. Most people would need to be rescued having a building fall on them. But you just dig your way out and do it relatively quickly. And I think the villagers look on very astonished that you're still alive. They certainly thought you had died. You crawl your way free, and I think, so if you're not looking for a trophy, not something significant symbolic, I think a pragmatic thing that you could just get from this is this glassy, half-transparent carapace that is around this thing. If you can take a significant portion of that, I think it's too brittle to be used as armor directly, but it's, it's like a window. It's much tougher than glass, and it is vaguely transparent. So perhaps it could be turned into armor or something not quite bulletproof glass, but almost bulletproof glass.
Then I think what I'm going to do is, I think Tar-Minotaur is going to, emerge, and without seeming to break stride, kind of I think first thing she's going to do is she's going to walk over to Matthew, right Matthew, and turn the engine off.
Yeah.
And then take the machete, and then just start hacking these scales off. And when the villagers come close, I think Tar-Minotaur is going to beckon over and say, "I have taken my share. The rest is yours."
Thank you. Was Pepperpot Pete? Did you see him on your side?
I have not seen Pepperpot Pete.
The tower protect us. Then he must be dead. Well, so is the creature. So is the creature. Come. And that person waves over some other people, and they approach cautiously with like, I don't think the normal villagers dealt with the monsters much back in the day, right? This is almost the entire reason why you had an order of knights to protect the valley from like the scary shit. And most normal people did not come near it, but here the villagers are, and so they walk around it trying to figure out like, how do we butcher this thing? How do we pick it apart? They have zero experience of ever having done so. But, you know, they butchered animals, so they can probably figure it out.
Yeah. Well, so they're not going to ferry me over before they're done with that, obviously, and I wouldn't expect them to. So obviously the thing I should be doing to make sure that I get across in as quickly as possible is I'm going to teach them.
Yeah, makes sense. I think, that's a really interesting character moment. So you teach them how to butcher the beast, to take its precious carapace, what parts of it can be eaten, what parts of it are poison, and so on. And this is, I think, something you just know. I don't think there's a move here.
No, I think I do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's old, and it's taken a beating, so it's probably not the best sort of eating. It's probably not the best sort of like quality of any sort of parts that we're acquiring. But it is far better than nothing.
Yeah. So it is butchered, taken apart. The bits of it that can be kept are taken on board the ship. It is unpleasant work, but at the same time, waste not, want not. And this is done. And then you are taken across with this bounty that these poor villagers have. And there is discussion and so forth about who must replace Pepperpot Pete in handling the ferry. And there is discussion of like, can we sell this perhaps to the rail mall? I heard it's coming around. Can someone go down and check the timetable as it is nailed to the to some post down there? But I doubt that Tar-Minotaur is very much invested in the fates of these villagers. Or are you? Do you stay? Do you speak with them? Or do you simply move on the moment you are on the other side?
Do any of them insist that I come in for tea or something?
I don't think they do. I don't think they. It would have been a different thing if you had like heroically saved them or something, right? But now the situation is just kind of strange and alien to them all. Yeah. And I think most of them are too much in shock to suggest such a thing. And also, I think, it's well within your right as a knight to just demand it of them. So it's not like they are rude to you, but...
No, that wasn't what I asked. Do you think it's interesting to roll dangerous presence here?
Yes, I think it is.
Because there's something that I want to know.
Yeah.
Which is, now that things have calmed down and there's a knight amongst them, and I assume there hasn't been a knight amongst them in a while, how do they feel about that? And maybe they don't feel great about it to begin with.
Yeah.
That's a 10 though.
That's a 10. Choose 2.
Yeah. So just to remind the audience, whenever I enter a non-violent situation, I should roll and to see if things turn against me. In this case, they don't necessarily. Let me have a look. I rolled a 10, which means I get to choose 2. If I have any allies here, they make eye contact with me. And if I have any enemies... How about this? Yeah, okay. If I have any allies here, they make eye contact with me. I'm going to ask you who does. And the other one is, if I have any enemies here, they freeze and try to make themselves inconspicuous. I ask you who.
Okay, interesting. So, I think, yes. So there was this person who was suggesting, like, I'll run down to the rail mall and look for the timetable and like talk to these people. And you don't know any of these people. I think you only knew the ferryman because he was like the relevant person here, right? The village that's near the ferry is whatever. But there was this person who suggested running down, and I think he is a tall, lanky person with a pointy beard and a hat with corks hanging from it, Australian style.
Yeah.
This person looks troubled and nervous and freezes up for a moment as like you stand and gaze around the village and just kind of look at him, right? It's not something that you do. You just take a moment to like survey the village on the other side. And he is about to leave, and then he kind of feels your eyes on the back of his neck and he freezes and looks at you. And yeah, you now know that he is your enemy. or at least that he holds some combination of fear or contempt for you.
Yep.
And I think everyone else here ignores you. You have no allies here because these people don't think of themselves as worthy of being your allies. They're old-fashioned.
Makes sense to me.
So no one makes eye contact with you because they don't dare to.
Because of the circumstances, which is that I'm in a hurry and that I have been helped, and merely not liking me is not enough reason to make a thing out of it.
Yeah. Oh, to be clear, he is your enemy. He's not just merely disliking you. I'm telling you out of character, and you can decide whether Tar-Minotaur realizes this, but he is, like, his going down to the rail mall is not entirely innocent. He's reporting on what has happened here to someone.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, I think Tar-Minotaur is still, however, going to get on Matthew, making some sort of like polite farewell. And she's going to get on Matthew and move on. And the reason I did Dangerous Presence primarily is because I think it's super interesting to just see how people just deal with knights. Like, even if there are enemies, even if I don't fight them, I think it's important to know that they exist.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Here we have one. Corcat Man.
Yes, Corcat Man.
I don't know his name, so I won't give him a name yet.
Yes, I will note him down. Maybe he'll be relevant afterwards.
Yeah. And you speed down towards the
Caravanserai.
Caravanserai, yes. And I will add just a little more flavor to your journey, and then I think we will see you arrive, and then we will cut away.
Yep.
So you drive through the rest of this little wooded area with the river across it, and you head towards this old airport. And I think towards the old airport there must necessarily be roads. And let's just do a quick paint the scene, because I think it's interesting and enjoyable to see the journey through the valley. And I invite everyone to answer here. So you find yourself on an old road down towards the airport, and this is a road that has been around since before the fall. There is like asphalt on it. What efforts do we see that people have made to repair or refurbish or gussy it up in the very long time since the fall? The first fall, the Ur-fall.
Am I the first to answer?
Yes.
Okay. Refurbished road. Airport road. Yes, I think what has happened is that someone has driven some sort of vehicle with a big paint roller with... What's an interesting... Yes, red paint. Just down the middle.
Okay, so there's just a big red streak down the middle.
Yeah, it's like with animal blood and vegetable oils.
Yeah.
Very easy to make red paint.
Yeah.
You mean it's a median to separate traffic?
No,
that's great if it is.
It just looks nice, you know?
Yeah.
There's no traffic.
Yeah.
But if it was, then it would imply that at one point there was enough traffic that you needed a line in the middle of the road, which would be nice.
I mean, roads used to have like lines in the middle. I think they know that. They don't know what they were for or what they looked like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Fair enough. Anyone else want to add some detail to this road of ours?
It has things that we do not, for some stupid reason, there's speed bumps on this road, right?
Okay.
We don't know why they're here, but just like the median line, we have preserved the speed bumps, right?
Yeah, okay.
Which does mean that you, being a person who's driving a vehicle when vehicles are not very common, if there weren't for these speed bumps, you could go fucking zoom down this, right? That's not allowed unless you want to like get tossed off your bike. So good luck.
Salty Aadiyat, do you want to add?
Yeah, I think also they've put up like signs that say, no passing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go with the theme of things that still exist, even though they don't know what they mean. There's around parts of the road, there are chalk lines indicating what we would know as potholes, but these are just areas of the road that are perfectly fine.
Yeah.
There's just like little children's hopscotch, but completely randomized, seemingly as you pass over them. Different colours of chalk, purple, blue, contrasting colours against the red of the blood meridian.
Lovely. It's just been worked on to preserve. And as you speed down towards the market, I think let us see the rail mall again, cutting back to Ahiri and Perfidelity. Yes?
Indeed.
Yes.
And so we see the interior of the rail mall. You have gone to speak directly with Kid Gloves, I presume. Yes?
Yeah.
That was your goal. I think that's something you can do because Perfidelity has good access to the situation here. And I think, Perfidelity, you also have easy access to your bloodkin, which in this case is Damna Egrivor. And I think this continues to be the case, that Damna is like standoffish towards you, but definitely interested in you. I don't think Damna is the person who goes like, hey, let's chat. And in fact, I think they're a very, very abrasive person. But you keep being able to tell that like they're interested in you. They keep looking at you. They keep like having this presence. I'm just flagging that. You didn't read them the first person around, but they haven't stopped trying to read you.
An abrasive queer person with a gun. This is catnip for Salty.
Oh. But I'm playing the gear cutter. The gear cutter's not excited by people. I'm excited by the train. And as we walk through its halls, I would like to things speak it.
Okay, sure.
Please.
Step onto the train and talk
and
to
it
the
speaks
train.
to me.
Yeah.
What does the rail mall want?
I have a request for how it sounds.
Okay. Request away.
It's an impossible request, but it is still a request. I want it to sound like Biggie the Train Engine.
Biggie the Train Engine, as in yes. Okay. Yeah. I feel you.
Very good.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Okay. Great. Amazing. Yes, indeed. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that is a 11. I always want to know this. Who made you? Who made you Rail Mall?
I do feel like Soti has stolen all of Zoheb's luck. I feel like that's what's happened.
Yes. So there is this strange rhythmic honking musical sound coming from it as you touch it, and this is indeed an impossible request. I will not answer this in its voice, at least. The rail mall is impossibly old. Like, this train has been through an absurd amount of stuff. And so I think not only does this predate the fall, I think it's interesting if the rail mall was old already when the fall happened. It was like an old, rustic, easy to maintain train, as opposed to like the more modern computerized trains that we are familiar with in our age and our time. So this was, I guess I should give this company a name. We're not playing in our real world, so it's.
I'm imagining this, by the way, as similar to a train in India, which is, like you say, it's like easy to maintain in that they have not really been maintained for a long time, and yet somehow they're doing fine, right? And so a lot of it is very mechanical.
Yeah.
And just for vibes, I want to be clear. The Indian government rail company is called the Indian Railways Catering and Tourism Corporation.
Okay.
Which means that for a long time, if you bought a train ticket, they would only be able to fit Indian Railways catering onto the statement. So you just be like, it would seem like you're spending quite a lot of money on train meals.
Yes. Okay, perfect. I love this. So it is it is called the Railways Catering Company. This company made this train in the very long ago, under the leadership of an engineer, and there's a team of engineers. And I think this is not even it speaking to you. This is just you seeing the handiwork of these engineers under all the dust and grime and renovations and maintenance that has been done to it. Right? You still see the hand of the company. In fact, the logo is still here somewhere.
Oh, I think it's on perhaps a plaque that's loosened and has been covered in dirt and grime.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
oh, you know what? I think Damnu Agrevaru sees Perfidelity just snag it off of the kind of hanging nail that it's still attached to.
Oh, you're taking a piece of the train.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's bad.
I think that there's a move here. Like you're openly challenging them now, letting them see it. But I think that you are trying to do something challenging, a physical action that requires quick reflexes, patience, or hard work. And the reason for this is that Kid Gloves and the train itself are not powerless in this. Like, to make sure that Damno is the only person who sees this, it requires a move, I think.
I would like to back your play.
Okay.
By maybe distracting Damnu at the right time, or maybe just like being so okay with it that Damnu's like, fine, maybe it's okay.
Okay.
Whichever was more interesting.
Yeah.
And I have a 2 with Perfidelity.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll.
1 second. W plus 2. I rolled a 12.
Okay, so choose a benefit. They get +1 to their roll is the straightforward one, or they get to ask +1 question is an option here.
I think +1 to the roll makes sense, right?
Yep. Okay, so then you roll hard. No, aggro for something.
Aggro. Okay, wonderful. So I roll with a -1.
Oh, you have a -2 to this normally. Good.
Man, oh man.
Thank you very much for backing my play. That's a 7.
That's such an important help. Yeah.
That means my luck is looking up.
Yeah. So ask the MC what it will cost you and decide for yourself whether to go through with it. So you can back down here. Yeah. I think the thing that this will cost you here is that this train is old and it has a sense of pride and it has a sense of memory. And so what this will cost you is, if you take this plaque, it's not that the train will be angry with you. It is that the train will forget. You will know its origin, but the train itself will no longer remember it. This is its last memory of the catering company. I think that's an interesting question. So, do you go through with it?
I said it in my roll. Yoink. That's going into the depths of my coat.
Yeah. All right. You take the plaque and you can sense something shift about the train. Something very, very old has been lost here.
Yeah, that works really nicely with, because I got 3 questions on ThingSpeak. What's wrong with this and how might I fix it?
Ah, yes. So, physically, I think nothing is wrong with the train. I think it is in excellent shape. Well, you have one answer now, which is that it now has memory loss because you've taken one of the senses of its past, and that you might just fix by returning the plaque. But that's not super interesting as an answer. You kind of already know that. So there is another, I think, thing that is wrong with it, and that is, I think it no longer hears the voice of the invisible hand of. I think the train has lost. It was once steered by the hand of the market. It goes where it is needed. But I think that the train has lost touch with this mysterious force that drives it. And Kid Gloves is now the only person that keeps this train's like magical ability to go where it is needed alive. Like normally, this is a symbiosis between driver and train, but the train can no longer manage on its own. And if Kid Gloves dies, the train will be like, it might still physically work, but it's going to be just a train.
And as we get closer to the pilot's cabin, where I imagine Kid Gloves is, what words have most recently been said nearby?
Okay. What words have most recently been said nearby?
Choo-choo doesn't count.
Yeah, choo-choo doesn't count. So you also got the question of how might you fix it, by the way.
Yes.
And how you might fix it, I think this is an interesting, because it's been a theme throughout, it's to repair its radio. at the moment it needs kid gloves, but it has a radio for communications that it uses to commune with the heavens, and you can repair it somehow. But what words have most recently been spoken nearby are yes, they are. I guess this won't make very much sense to you, but it is words that have been spoken nearby. So you actually overhear remnants of a conversation that is happening with kid gloves, because someone is talking to them. Someone is there in the room with them. And so you overhear a snippet of this conversation, like recorded in the walls of the train. And it is, yes, sirree, I'm telling you, Pinata is going to be the most reliable shopkeep around. So, I'm buying out the whole cargo.
Pinata?
Revolver Pinata. That's the name.
I guess. The tree laughed himself into like another dimension.
Yes.
I died. Yeah, I fully died. Thank you for being with me so far, but as you know, I am now dead. So yeah.
Yes.
One
so
more
you were aware
for the Kumu ward.
Yes. So this is the this is, I guess, the remnants of the conversation. The last word spoken nearby. I hope that is satisfying.
Fantastic.
And so,
yeah.
as you enter the room, I think you see Kid Gloves just kind of in stunned shock, talking to this person who has just said these words that Ahiri did not hear, but that you heard recorded. And it's like a moment of Kid Gloves going like, "What? You're serious?" And Kid Gloves is this like very strange, elegant person with these like beautiful white gloves and a bunch of implants, right? Like strange implants into their body for communion with the metal and the radio. So I think it was described as like it's almost piercings. It's like somewhere between piercings and implants. And there's like wire crossing their body. I think they have a very... They're probably dressed as a train conductor, right? Like that's the energy. And they stand back and are like stunned at this egregious offer. And talking to them is a short, squat, and kind of curvy little person with big bottle cap glasses and a wide brimmed hat. This is Revolver Pinata. And you sort of interrupt this conversation as you arrive, and Revolver is smiling widely, and Kid Gloves is going, excuse me, I have customers. Oh, you're excused. By all means, just get around to me. And Revolver plops down on a seat.
This person is going on the Kumu boards, and their description is Monopoly-looking motherfucker.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's a wide hat rather than a tall hat, but yes.
Correct, Mundo.
So, Kid Gloves turns towards you and is seemingly kind of relieved to be like not dealing with this obviously unserious person, but then maybe there is something here. And yeah, this is the situation you step into. You may read it or a person or just talk as you feel like.
I would like to read Chard's situation unless Salty is already feeling it.
No, of course, go ahead.
Okay. To read, I must roll sharp.
Yeah.
AW +1. Read the Piñata and the gloves. I rolled a 12.
Okay, so you're reading a situation. You may ask 3 questions.
I feel like Solchi and I are just like luck vampiring all of the luck. And Aadiyat and Zoheb are about to roll like 17 ones in a row.
I rolled 2 9s.
But even on 2d6, you're going to be rolling a 1 total.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you've got +3, that's a 1.
Yeah.
Okay. On a 10+, asked the MC 3 questions right now. Who or what poses the biggest threats to me?
Okay, biggest threat to you. Interesting. So Kid Gloves is an established power player. I don't think Kid Gloves poses any threat to you in that sense, right? They're powerful, but they're not directly opposed to you or anything. I think the person that poses a big threat to you is okay. So here's what you will notice. This little person, Revolver Pinata, is like innocuous looking, clearly not a warrior or anything like that, right? But I will ask Tar-Minotaur, because you're establishing things about the knight. What is a sign that someone has a knight's favor or protection, or like, not exactly loyalty, but like I don't know if this is a reference that lands, but like the Phantom's good mark?
No, yes. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to answer the question anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of person I am. I think, yes, all knights have their own personal coat of arms. Right? Yeah. I think I mentioned Tar-Minotaurs way back. I think I can, if people don't remember, I probably can take that opportunity next scene to remind people. But this person has the coat of arms, and I think like there's different ways of like giving people this insignia. I think this particular knight, whoever
I know
they
which
are,
knight it is. It is Ashurdan.
Oh, okay.
It's Logicos Ashurdan, the Slayer of Evil.
I think Ashurdan is the kind of person to have had printed business cards, essentially.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yes.
So it is a card pinned to Revolver Pinata's coat.
Yes. With the coat of arms on it. Ashurdan's coat of arms. I'm not sure what they would be.
I think Ashurdan is the defeater of evil, so I'm feeling like a like Saint George and the Dragon kind of thing.
But that makes sense to me. What was Ashurdan's favorite? What was Ashurdan's favorite weapon?
Yeah, the picture I posted of them was looking like a legionnaire, because they had like the sort of legionnaire shield and a sort of gladiatorial helmet, but also a rifle.
Yeah. So a rifle and a spear, I think. So yeah, let's say that it is. Oh no, it's a bayonet on a rifle piercing a dragon. I think that's the coat of arms.
Very good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And yeah, the biggest threat to you posed by anyone here is Loshagos Ashurdan, who is a badass knight, who is very popular, who is kind of a usurper of power, and who is ambitious, and who has pinned their coat of arms to Revolver Pinata.
Okay. As you know, ouch, F. Second question. Who or what represents the biggest opportunity? To get this deal done.
Yeah, so you want this deal with Kid Gloves. I think the biggest opportunity here, who or what represents that Kid Gloves kind of wants to get away from this situation. I think like this is a ludicrous idea that someone could just buy like the entire cargo. That's how do you have money for it? But at the same time, it's a person who has the favor of one of the Ascendant Knights, so maybe it's possible. And so Kid Gloves is like freaked out and tempted at the same time, and would really appreciate some time to think about this.
Makes sense. And then therefore the last question. What's my best way through?
Yes. I think your best way through is to have someone else distract Revolver. Because I think Revolver Pinata is not a person who just shuts up easily. But if they were distracted by somebody else, then perhaps you could get through and just have a nice private conversation with Kid Gloves.
Great. I am going to whisper to Damnu Egrevery. This is the kind of guy who would definitely screw with the train to make the pitch better. And I promise you anything, he's already nicked something off it. And if the implication is that Damnu Egrevery would care a lot about something being stolen from the train, and actually as it happens, I do know that something's been stolen from the train. So I think if I can pin it on this guy, then Damnu Egrevery is going to interrogate him no problem, right?
Okay, yes. So you're saying the stolen plaque is you're pinning
I'm
this
not-
on. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not even saying I know that a plaque is stolen. I'm just telling a Gregory.
Yeah.
Probably
Sure.
he's shady enough to steal something.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Do you think that you are giving Damnau Gregory an order here, or is this more of a suggestion?
No, it's a suggestion. If it was an order, it would look way worse.
Yeah, then there is no play here. I think this is a suggestion that Damnau Gregory is happy to take you up on, but you don't have control over what they actually do because it isn't an order.
Oh yeah, sure.
You're just suggesting that they do something distracting here. Yep.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, very good. Perfidelity, a moment here.
Hmm.
What are you doing as you enter the room, and as Damnau is still more interested in you than in anything else?
Oh, I think again, Perfidelity is more interested in the train itself. That this has such exciting things to consider, and there's a radio that's looking quite tempting, built into this control panel. And yeah, Perfidelity also has very similar implants and piercings to Kid Gloves in, I think, a very similar fashion. There's a eye kind of sweeps over them. See, is there anything different from last we saw? But otherwise, happy to let Ahiri take the lead here, given that my advice was talk about saunas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Damnau will glide forward towards Revolver Pinata and take a seat next to them, kind of distractedly, and then just kind of eye Revolver over. And I think this is done in a way that is meant to be like provocative, like I find you suspicious, I've got my eye on you. And Revolver just smiles brightly back and goes, "How do you do?" And shakes Damnau's hand very vigorously, which I think Damnau is very surprised by, but at least the distraction sort of worked. And Kid Gloves, quite professionally, like recovers his composure and goes like, as a reminder, Kid Gloves uses all pronouns because Kid Gloves is everyone on the market. That's kind of the vibe. Adjusts the gloves, looks at you, and just goes like, Ahiri of Sicari's Regret. How may I assist you?
Yes. Kid, hi. We've had this conversation before, and I know it's not a surprise that I'm trying to have this conversation with you again. But yeah, I want to see whether you'd be interested in the services of a gear cutter on the train. I know that there is some, development here that, well, the rumor is that maybe you're not as happy about it as you would like, and I think that I can believe that given who you're hanging out with. He's one of Ashur Dan's fellows, isn't he?
Oh, you're referring to Revolver?
Yeah.
Yeah, nodding in that direction. Goes, yes, though we were not previously acquainted. And they glance over kind of nervously towards Revolver, who is still shaking Damnau's hand. Throughout all this. Yeah. Are you familiar? And Kid Gloves goes, should I let you speak?
Yeah, and I will just say, with him specifically, no. With the kind of person who represents, well, obviously yes. And I do feel if you're in the kind of position now where there is no choice but to deal with them, then yeah, please consider not doing that and helping me instead.
Okay, I think that you are straight up reasoning with someone. Consider not dealing with them and help me instead. Yeah. Yes. I think it's a reason with someone. I think you have enough here to reason, but I definitely think this is a role because.
And I will back your play here by Perfidelity. I have heard that Sicari's Regret has a fair few more amenities now of the hygienic kind.
Yep.
That is true. You have heard correct. It is indeed the case that we now sport a fully functional sauna.
Yep, and I have +3
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
And you know
Okay.
how a trained
50.
person feels about Steam.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
That's a
Sophie,
50.
have you like fully just like given the Roland Nirvana or something? Like, have you ascended them to a higher plane so you can operate the roller instead? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
I think
So,
speaked it.
yes.
Yeah.
What benefit would you like to give Ahiri? Is it straight +1 to the roll or something else?
I think perhaps another benefit that
Yeah.
I think Kid Gloves is interested. Just straight
Yes.
up, yeah. That's
Very good.
enough to get their
Mhm.
interest.
Okay, yes. Kid Gloves is definitely interested in, like, if this roll fails, Kid Gloves will still be interested in a bath. That happens, no matter what.
Reasonable. As Kid Gloves should be, in fact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they're a little grimy, so.
Hey, man. No judgment from me, except, definitely massive judgment from me.
Mm-hmm.
Great, yeah. And yeah, so I will say, yes, I agree. And I will roll my +2.
Mm-hmm.
Watching Kid Gloves.
Good.
I rolled an 11.
Okay, yes. Kid Gloves goes like... Actually, I think Kid Gloves just like adjusts the glove a little bit and then touches you gently on the shoulder and just kind of escorts you out of this room where Tam now is still looking over this stranger, and like gets a little bit more privacy, lowers their voice and says, "Well, what can I help you with then, precisely?"
So, seems like there's more and more people moving in to the bazaar. I have a new gear cutter looking for work and didn't really take no for an answer. And my last people, Iskandaric and her gang, they've taken over the tower. Not something that you would do unless you thought you were pretty desperate, is my read.
Interesting.
And
yes, good.
We need friends.
Kid Gloves looks very disturbed by this, just like rubbing the bridge of their nose, like so many problems at once. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Correct. Kid Gloves is understanding the brief. Yeah, so I think I will just say, we need all the friends we can get, and he would be a very good friend to have.
And what does this gear cutter want? Is it? And I think Kid Gloves points with a thumb towards Perfidelity. Like, has Perfidelity moved in? Am I misunderstanding? Because they're familiar with Perfidelity.
Yeah. And
maybe it's through the clouded glass of the door.
Yeah.
Because I think I'd like to put Perfidelity in a different room, so I have an opportunity to talk to these people privately.
Yeah.
Yes,
very good.
That would be cool.
So it's through the glass. Yeah, you're being pointed at. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I will say no. Someone else. Weaponsmith.
Oh, I see. Well, sure, I can speak with them, strike up a conversation. I know some people in the business for weapons, certainly. I sell them.
Yeah, but I'm more concerned that people who make weapons think there's going to be a need here.
Yes,
and I'm concerned similarly because that man's boss doesn't make a move unless he thinks it's going to work. He lost all appetite for risk when he... What is it that they say? Pinned evil to the ground and left it in twain?
Yes. So it would seem. Kid Gloves again looks back towards the other room.
Yeah. And I'll just say, but it's not just a threat, it's an opportunity. Because I'm not saying you sell the weapons. I'm saying we arm the train.
I'm listening. But perhaps... And I think this has gone swimmingly, so I think you're going to get what you want, which is to take Kid Gloves to your establishment. So Kid Gloves goes like, but perhaps My people are running the market right now. Perhaps we should speak about this in your establishment. I think this makes sense. Kid lowers their voice even further and goes, I believe the knight might have more friends about. And I think this is why Kid Gloves feels happier at Sicarius Regret, because that's not somewhere they expect. Like, if anyone's spying on them, they will not expect that to happen at Sicarius Regret. And it will be a lot harder to like smuggle in a spy that's hanging out here, blending in with the shoppers. So, yeah. So you move out. And Perfidelity, then, since you have a moment, what are you doing with the privacy you have just won yourself?
Oh. What would I like to do with the privacy I've just won myself? I think here, maybe this is a cliffhanger as well. Perfidelity is going to sit down next to Damnu. Oh, no, sit down in the driver's seat.
Nice.
Because, of course, that's the way.
Yeah. And have a word with Damnu. Are you trying to get rid of Revolver first, or are you fine with Revolver?
No, I'm going to open my brain.
Okay.
Like that. I'm going to open my brain. That's
you
more
sit
interesting.
down in the driver's seat and open your brain. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it. Go for it. Do it now.
And I am opening my brain, hopefully, to the invisible market, feeling the lettering of the company plaque over and over again with a thumb, like it's a worry stone.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Excellent.
Oh,
yes.
it's a miss.
I was hoping for that.
Ah.
Yes.
Muy bien.
Thank you.
Okay. So you sit down in the driver's seat, you lean forward, you try to sense the presence of this force that has been guiding the train. This, like, similar to the Tower of Fulmina, this kind of like abstract thing out in the maelstrom. And I think the thing that happens is that you realize that you have no contact with it, and simultaneously the train realizes that you have stolen its memories, and it's now hostile to you.
Yeah.
This you can feel as you touch the control panel, just like this machine does not like you. This machine is not taken care of. This machine is. It doesn't even know how you have wronged it, but it knows that you have wronged it.
And then, if it's
a purely vibes-based hatred, is what you're telling me.
If it's okay, then maybe this chains into something like a reason with someone, as Perfidelity would like to promise, because he knows that it is missing something, that it must be fixed, and she, under her breath, she speaks to it, turns around in the driver's seat. I will fix you. I promise. I will let you hear again. I will unblind your eyes, and you will be free. I promise this to you. A night is always beautiful, and I keep my promises.
Okay, roll reason with someone, but even if you succeed, I cannot promise this goes entirely the way you want it.
Yep, that's good. And I add my psi to this, because I am breathtaking. So that is a +2.
Oh, nice.
12.
That's better.
So, it has to choose, set reservations aside and go along with you, or else frankly, and maybe violently, refuse. And what happens here is the latter. The train refuses this offer to you, but it is very frank about it, so you still get something on a 12+. And what you get about this is that this train, it will not believe you without words. It refuses to offer you any solace, any kindness here. But that does not mean that you cannot repair it. It will just require more from you first. So the way I'm interpreting this 12+ is it does not go like, I forgive you. It goes, I do not forgive you, in fact, because you have not done anything for me yet. But it is still possible for you to do it. It is still possible for you to win the train over with time. Is it fair?
Yeah,
Very
and I
good.
think that's immediately what Perfidelity sets out to do. I'm going to get caught red-handed trying to fix the radio, please, and thank you.
Okay, you're good. We will save that for next session, I think, because that sounds like a whole new situation to set up. It's an exciting cliffhanger. And we will pivot over to Lady Iskandaric, and then we might have time to sneak in a little more after that as well. We shall see. So, Lady Iskandaric, you have whipped the people here into shape. What would you like to do?
So, by whip them into shape, as in they're willing to see Iskandaric as their leader.
They are willing to see you as their leader, and they are afraid of the threat.
Yeah, I think what Iskandaric wants to do is what would be I think there are logistics to figure out. So I think she's got the two relevant people, cartometric and logistic, up on a vantage point somewhere, and with the spy class, they're looking at the surrounding landscape. And this Iskandaric, I think, opens the conversation by saying something like this: "It's an absolute wonder these fools have lasted this long." Because I think there's no natural barriers to the approach to St. Philomela's Tower or anything like that, right?
No, it had a bit of a moat.
Yeah,
that was the thing that stood in your way, which you basically crossed by going let us cross or we shoot up everyone.
Yeah.
Thinking
out loud, right? And at any point, her subordinates can jump in, but she just goes, open approach, a moat you could jump over. Oh, I don't know. Cartometric will say, what have you found out? How are these people getting food in here?
Oh, yeah. I think Cartometric reports. He pulls up his goggles on his forehead. He goes, food mostly via donations, mostly to the old vice president. Runs in from various connections. I mean, it's trade ostensibly, but really it's donations. A lot of it is basically charity.
No, we can't do with that. They're barely able to stand on their own feet. We need something better.
Do you want to set up farms here?
No, we don't. We don't set up farms. Farms have already been set up. Cartometric. Because where was it that crops are popping up?
The flats.
The flats.
Yeah.
You know who lives in the flats?
Tar-Minotaur.
Hey man.
Round 2. Let's fucking go.
It's
okay. I don't care.
Okay. Question for but speaking of causing trouble with other PCs, where does Ahiri get supplies for her?
I mostly buy them in the market. The market doesn't do that much fresh produce because agriculture is tough. So we do a lot of meat. Things like the train coming around helps, and B, I think there is a regular trade route that passes through.
What I'm angling for is that we did spend some time in around Sikari's regret at the market. So maybe we have some idea of using those connections, either maybe so I don't think at this time we have anything to really barter for, right? We'll buy supplies. So essentially, being that we are raiders, we should know where the supply lines are and then be able to pick them off.
Yeah, you want to rob the supply lines to the market and connect that to the tower.
Yeah.
Am I getting it right? Yeah.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think you can read the situation here as you look over your strategy level map. This is not like a tactical level situation. It's a strategic situation, but I think it makes sense to make this move.
Yeah. All right. Read a message. Ooh, yes, it's an 11.
So you get 3 questions about how to deal with this supply line That goes not directly to Sicarius Regret, but to one of Ahiri's suppliers, some influential merchant.
3 questions you said. Okay, so yeah, who or what represents the best opportunity, I think is the first one. And for me to, well, I guess which is the easiest target or the most lucrative target?
So the most lucrative target is what I'm going to answer you with, which is the best opportunity. I suppose Cartometric has been gathering up some information. Like, probably this happened while you were back at Sicarius Regret.
Yeah,
right?
That's the idea that I was aiming for you.
You've gathered up this information. So, there is this new, very rich merchant who's moved in called Revolver Pinata, who seems to be moving quite a lot of goods around.
Very good.
Definitely not the easiest target, but the most lucrative one. And new in the game, so doesn't know the lay of the land, doesn't know the area very well.
Just like?
Yeah.
So just like
you.
Yeah, just like you.
Yeah. No, I know the lay of the land. I have a guy for that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe the answer to this is obvious, because I was going to ask what's the biggest threat, but I think we know that. So I'm going to ask: is there something else? Is there something I should be on the lookout for? What makes me think so?
Oh, interesting. Yes, I think the thing you should be on the lookout for, in order to tie this together with Ahiri's, what Ahiri has going on, I think, so you're obviously aware of that, like, there is a big threat because Revolver Pinata is connected to some rather powerful knights. Like, this is not a defenseless target, but that's not the interesting answer. I think what you should be on the lookout for is rather Screwtape Ronin. I think you should be on the lookout for this new gunsmith who's moved in and who is very interested in keeping supply lines running, and who might be a bit of a joker in this game, right? Because Screwtape Ronin provides good guns and stuff. And I think the reason you know about this is because of Haxic.
Neat. Okay, yeah, and then the third one, I guess, would be... Yeah, I mean, I think I know who's in control, so no point in asking that. So let's just go with what's my best way in and what makes me think so.
Yeah, your best way in and what makes you think so into this situation as it is unfolding. So we haven't established very much about like the layout of the area, but I think there is a river to be crossed between the flats and the market. That has been established. So I think it's interesting to tie this back to other things that were introduced this session, which is definitely a weak point. Your best way into the supply lines is as it is being transported across the river, as it is being because I think when it's big cargo and such, like, you can't just necessarily drive the lorry onto a ferry because the tech isn't very good. So it has to be shifted there. Like, it has to be loaded onto a boat or something and then taken across the river and then loaded onto a thing on the other side. And it's like quite inconvenient. And at such a point, the cargo is vulnerable. The person can't drive away really quickly with it. So yeah, I think that's your best way in and what makes you think so. Revolver Pinata ferries quite a lot of goods back and forth. Doesn't have probably a set up way to do this across the river in like a way where people have a routine. That's still being kind of figured out. So.
Okay, yeah, that's very good.
So Cartometric pulls the goggles back down, looks in order to look in the direction where you're going because it's quite bright, and goes like, "So, boss, we make a move right away, or do we need to prep for this? Are we rolling out? Can we trust the people here?"
I think we can trust them long enough to get back. And after we get back, I think they'll start to trust us more.
All right. Oh, speaking of which, because I think some time has passed since your conversation with Angelica, right? Cartometric goes like, "Speaking of, I was talking to Angelica the other time about if she needed anything set up in the tower, up in the vantage point. And she said there was something she didn't need anymore, and I could give it to you. and he unpacks the portrait of Cazador Sicari and hands it to you.
Yes, Lady Iskandaric is satisfied with this. She smiles and goes, "Yeah, Cardmetric. I think we can trust these people."
What do you do with the portrait? Do you keep it? Do you throw it away?
I think we'll keep it for now as a sort of like, take that. Showed you dead person.
Painting?
You.
Is it a painting or what is it?
It is a painting, yes. It is it's not a photo. It is a small, very delicately made painting. I imagine it's sort of like a religious icon is painted. It's kind of vibe.
I'll keep it for a few reasons. One, Tar-Minotaur might be interested. Second, it is like a, keep a painting of your, I don't know, predecessor to laugh at them for dying.
Yeah.
Lol.
Okay.
Lol.
So I would like to do one last scene with Tar-Minotaur, or just a setup, really, and then we shall wrap up, if that's all right.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. So Tar-Minotaur, you arrive at the Cloud Bazaar, which is not the same market as is connected to Ahiri's. This is like the big wholesale caravanserai market.
Yes,
the Grand Caravanserai.
Yes.
Yeah, I mixed them up. The Cloud Bazaar is the other one. Yes. The Grand Caravanserai, which is sort of like the wholesale place. For a long time, I imagine this was the only place where the Valley had contact with the outside world, because Caravanserai. It is an old airport. It's like the husks of old aircraft and like the air traffic control tower and maybe a little bit of the duty-free store. All this stuff that has been repurposed. And I think you notice that with all this contact to the outside world, there is more activity here. The Valley has opened up. There is more going on. There are not necessarily strangers afoot, but I think more caravans and more expeditions to the outside being planned. So there's quite a lot of bustle and activity. And how do you go about finding the vice president, who is here to shop for clothes, from the last intel you heard? And I imagine he's here because it takes some time to tailor them, right? So it's not like he doesn't just go in and buy them off the rack. He has to be around while the tailor fits them for him.
Yeah, he's probably here for a month. I suppose it should be fairly easy to find the vice president of the Valley, technically. Even if he doesn't have much authority, I think here they flatter him. So I think it should be fairly easy to find him. Now, I'll pay my cards. I'll lay my cards out. I think I did last session, but in case it wasn't clear why I'm actually here, I'm not actually here for Cotopaxi. I'm here for Batman.
Ah, yes, his butler.
Yes.
Very good.
Because I have information that will lead to his death.
Yep. Excellent.
I'll tell you what I'm doing, if I may. I took a lovely little move last session. It's called Hunter. When you're hunting, tracking, fleeing, or standing off with an enemy, roll plus aggro.
Okay,
Can
good.
you just roll this and then perhaps that'll set us up for next. Yes, nice. Plus aggro. So that's +2. Let's see how it goes. That's an 8, which means I get to ask 2 questions. Yes. Is this its territory? And that's a somewhat abstract question to ask, but what I'm actually asking here is how much influence does the butler have over Cotopaxi? Is Cotopaxi one of those people who actually belongs to his employee?
So I think the Batman is I think okay, I would like to ask this question last, if I may. If you want to ask your other question first. Because I think it might contextualize the answer to this one.
Right, okay. So I think this makes sense once I actually approach, right? Is it aware of me and my position? How can I tell? By which I mean, when I go meet Cotopaxi, is Batman going to be immediately suspicious?
Yes. So what I will tell you is, I will tell you the situation here, and then from the context we can answer this question. So you ask around for where Cotopaxi is, and strangely, people are a little bit coy about it. They've definitely seen his entourage around and the Batman around, but they have not actually seen the vice president himself. He seems to be strangely reclusive. And as you ask around, in fact, his staff have been in this clothing shop with these tailors. Cotopaxi himself has not as far as they can tell, been there. And so the question is like, you can find your quarry, the Batman, and he is at the moment separated from his employer.
Okay.
But he is apparently like running communication between Cotopaxi and all the people he wants to shop with. So the Batman is going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the answer to like, will he be aware of you, is if you just catch him while he's out like shopping in a store, then he will not necessarily be aware of it, but he will be surrounded by people. If he's furtively going back to wherever Cotopaxi is apparently hiding, he will be a lot more suspicious.
Okay. Cool. I also remind you that justice is free and information is easy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm laying this out for you.
Okay.
So I'm just answering the question, right? Like the Batman will be suspicious if you follow him back.
Yeah, just reminding you. Nice.
To his hiding place. You can just like catch him out in a store. Like that's not a problem. There will be people around, but you can. And the other question is like, is this its territory? Normally not. Normally I think Cotopaxi is not at the mercy of the Batman. But clearly there is something going on here. That means he really needs the guy right now. So at the moment, the Batman actually has quite a lot of power because he is the one handling all of the interactions with the surrounding world. So you can dig further into this, or you can just grab this guy as he's entering a store. But at the moment, you gather that Cotopaxi like very badly needs him to do business for whatever reason.
Now, this is a really important decision point right now. Because we have established that people are responsible for and to their underlings.
Yep.
That is an important part of Tar-Minotaur's code of honor. And that extends to people that, of course, if you're a knight, this matters even more. Justice is free. Justice is free. Information is easy. This session.
Yeah.
I think, yes. I think I'm going to go up to Batman at some point. Just kind of like walk up to him. And you can tell me if I can just do this.
Yep.
I'm going to walk up to him and without saying a word, I think I'm going to cut his throat with a machete.
Yes, you can do this. He is not a combatant. It is not a roll to attack. I think you can just do this. However, you will be in public, and so justice is easy, was it?
Yes. Justice is free.
Justice is free, yes. So you can do this, and people will not stop you in the sense that they consider you like, you're an officer of the law. That's fucking weird, but I guess you are an officer of the law. No one will stop you here and now. But obviously, this will have repercussions. This will have consequences. Especially as it's not only you that has figured out that Cotopaxi really, really needed this guy. But we will see the outcome of that next session.
Yeah, because what I'm going to do, so really quickly, I'm going to cut his throat, and then in front of everyone, I'm going to sheath my machete, and then I'm going to say, direct me to Vice President Cotopaxi.
Good. Yeah, I think just to set you up for next session, I think what you will find is the best person to direct you to the Vice President would have been the Batman. Because
of course.
Cotopaxi is in hiding. So this is not straightforward, but we will see the outcome of that next session. And so we are going to move to do XP and wrap up here real quick. If you are not a Patreon, not on Patreon, we will say goodbye to you here. And if you are on Patreon, you get a little bit of extra content at the end of every episode. You get to join our Discord and you get to listen to us doing the sessions live. But for now, we will wrap up our story here. Goodbye from Desperate Attune, and we hope to see you next time.
You've been listening to Desperate Attune Season 3, called No Anthem. I've been your host, Holly. With me have also been Zoheb, Aadiyat, Salty, and Tree. If you'd like to support our show, you can do so at patreon.com/desperateattune, which will give you access to our Discord and also give you access to our episodes 1 week early. If you'd prefer a one-time donation, you can do so at ko-fi.com/desperateattune, or you can buy our book Sunmirror at desperateattune.itch.io. The intro music is Steady Now by Waterflame, and the outro music is Ready Now, also by Waterflame. Our logo design is by Fahim Anzum Rumman. Thank you for listening to Desperate Attune, and we hope to see you again next episode.